Good morning, horse players, and welcome to the road to the NHC. I'm Scotty McKeever, and we're going to jump into make another step closer to Las Vegas, Nevada, and the road to the NHC. And we're breaking down races from Gulfstream Park, Belmont at Aqueduct, and Santa Anita. So it's not just about picking winners. There's a strategy behind it, and we're looking for value, horses that are going to give you your best bang for your buck. So Vegas isn't going to wait for us. My partner, of course, is 2022 NHC champ, David Harrison. What is going on, my man? This is we had a couple of week break, and how'd you do in the Kentucky Derby?
Yeah, the Derby alone, I did very well, but that was one specific race. We were doing that the stretch run on that Saturday, Derby day, and I did love two horses. I love Sovereignty, and I also used East Ave, and he never got anywhere near the lead, and he was cooked. But Sovereignty did make me a nice profit. And I just missed the Triple Try, but I know the Equine Edge had the Exacta. So we had the first two finishers, and there's a lot of races obviously in the 2 days. So the 2 day package didn't really make me a lot of profit, but I think I recovered most of everything on the Derby. Now I'll address the elephant in the room before we start the show, and that's Sovereignty and Belmont deciding to skip the Preakness. And the only people have asked me what I think about it, and I'm not going to blame Belmont, but I think it's quite disappointing. In all honesty, I've got friends who are casual who never play horses. But they play 3 races a year, and it's the Kentucky Derby, and that's like 70% of them. The other 30 or 40 will play the Preakness, and the rest will, the remainder, those are the 3 races. They don't care about the Breeders' Cup. They don't care about the Travers. They don't care about the prep races. It's the Triple Crown. So when a horse is not going for the Triple Crown, my friends are probably not going to bother watching the Preakness, especially if journalism doesn't want. Right now, these are people who don't play horses. They play the races. So I think it's disappointing,
It is. I can understand it. I think that though journalism is the horse to beat. If anyways, even if Sovereignty's in the Preakness, which of course we know that he's not going to be. I just think that pace makes the race, David. We talk about this all the time, and that's why I didn't like East Avenue, because I bet on that horse every time it's run. There was just so much speed in the race, and look, they went 22 and change, David. I mean, look, come on, it's the race set up for Sovereignty. That's why I like Sovereignty. Is because I felt like there was going to be a fast pace, but journalism did not have a good trip at all whatsoever. This is a very tactical horse, and I'm drawing a blank on the horse that got third. Is it Baez or what? I'm just drawing a blank.
Oh, Baeza. He was
that was a phenomenal performance from the 20 hole. Come on, give me a break. And and of course these horses are all coming from Southern California too. Journalism, Baeza. Anyways, I just think that journalism will be in the Preakness, and journalism will win the Preakness. And Baeza, it'll be those 2 horses. And I honestly don't think that Sovereignty would have had a chance in the Preakness anyway. So give him a break, get a little bit longer. Hopefully, there's some speed in the race. And but that's my opinion, anyways. And it kind of worked out that way. That was a crazy amount of speed in there, and they went very, very fast. So.
And the where approach again, it's a 20 horse field, so you're never going to get me to play a favorite in a 20 horse field. Journalism was 5-2, 3-1, so it's not a bad price, but there's too much chaos that can happen. If the field was 8, like in the Preakness, I'm not going to bet against journalism, because I think he will romp in that race. And I think journalism may have, he didn't get the greatest trip in the Derby. No. And also, I think he might have been affected by an off track. I mean, they don't train on any wet surfaces at Santa Anita anymore. So I think that the wet track might have helped Sovereignty a bit. I'm just guessing. And I think journalism, if that was a dry track, I think journalism might have got the win there. So I agree with you.
I watched this back a bunch of times. From what I saw, is exactly what we had handicapped, and that was that there's going to be a lot of speed in there, and Sovereignty needed every bit of that speed and got it. And journalism, if you look, journalism did not have a good trip whatsoever, and journalism, it can be put anywhere, and you need that. Unless there's a bunch of speed that's lined up in the Preakness, then journalism, Baeza, it's going to be those 2. Let me call the Exacta right now. So
right, yeah, the $4.20 exactly. But the thing I'm disappointed in primarily is it looked like we had a budding after that race. We may have had a budding rivalry that could basically rival like 1989. Remember the Silver Sunday West Coast, Easy Goer East Coast?
yeah,
The East Coast, journalism West Coast, maybe Baeza West Coast. So that also adds to the excitement with horse racing for the casual player. Like, wow, we got those two horses going at it again. Alidar affirmed. So that's a disappointment also that they're not going to be going forward with.
yeah.
But with that being said, we have NHC qualifiers today, Peter. So let's get rolling here and try to get some people qualified and get back in the swing of things and get on a roll here.
Yeah. So for those of you that are new, and by the way, too, we've had so many new people, and they're really enjoying this. And we've had, I want to say, 7 people last year from the show get that were new, get into the NHC and really took it seriously. So that's really neat. This is what we call a feeder for the qualifier. So you can see it says P&P feeder. It's a pick and pray, which means you have to have all your bets in, all your plays in. It's an $18 entry fee to get into this feeder. And so far there's 66 people in there. You're going to have a lot more people. And the top 20% get if you're in the top 20% as far as scoring goes, then you get a free entry into the qualifier, which is $75. Okay. And you can see that you have to do Gulfstream Park races 1, 2, and 3, and Belmont at Aqueduct. So essentially, it's usually the Belmont meet, but they're doing a lot of construction and rebuilding much of Belmont, and so they're running over at Aqueduct. So it's the Belmont meet run at Aqueduct, and the races 1, 2, and 3 there as well. So we're going to handicap that first. I did do 1 entry into the qualifier, and I've got 1 in here, so I'm hoping to have 2 for the qualifier. So I do have 1 feeder here, so I am going to play in that, as you can see. So we're going to start handicapping, and that would begin at Gulfstream Park race number 1, which goes off at 9:50 a.m. So we have about an hour and 10 minutes. So there's only 4 horses. There's 3 horses scratched, which is disappointing. And looks like there's a speed horse in here in the one Cajun Anthem, David. Let's run the race simulator.
Yeah. Unfortunately, at both coasts, there are a multitude of scratches. We had a weather issue at Aqueduct today. So, but this race, when you scratch down to a 4-horse field, there's not much to add here. So I'll make it brief. Cajun Anthem wire to wire. That's all I need to know. That he's got the pace advantage that he has over the rest of the field. To me, there's no way to play. In my opinion, that's one of the primary metrics I rely on with Equinage is when you have such a disparity between your first pace metric and your second, that's a bet. And then you get over 25, 30 points and I'm sold.
Yeah.
Anthem draws the rail wire to wire. This is a 6 furlong dirt race, 8,000 beaten claimers. This horse has the lead. He does stop a lot. She does, excuse me. This 4-year-old filly does tend to stop, but did have a score on November 22nd, wire to wire, where she got an easy trip on the front end. And I think she gets an easy trip on the front end today, and it's gate to wire score.
The thing is that one thing I do see here, David, is this Cajun Anthem does well at 5.5 furlongs. This horse was right there. But in the last 2 races at 6 furlongs, and this horse had a 1.5 length lead here, and then just started really slowing down. And so I worry about this horse. And it broke on top in all 3 races. So she's a good breaker. I don't trust her. Okay. I don't trust her. And this is a big drop in class here for the 6 horse. Harmio's aboard, has an outside post. The one thing that I see too is the 6 horse has the class in the race. You can see the 54 SOR. And so a lot of times what I see is horses move up in pace. So most likely, even though the race simulator is saying that the 6 horse is going to be 3 lengths back at the first call, I think from that outside post and the horse's class, I think it might be 2 lengths. So I think the 6 all day long. So I'm gonna take the 6 horse.
Right, and the only interesting thing I can say about a 4-horse field is you do have 2 scenarios. You have two horses that are drop downs. The 6, it's only words, and Kiss Cam, dropping down from 17.5, Kiss Cam, and it's only words, down from 20, slightly weaker SRR groups, and then you have a lone speed. So either you play the class or you play the speed. So I'm opting for the speed in this case because I don't think that filly on the rail is going to get any pace pressure at all. But it wouldn't surprise me. Any of those 3 horses win, but I'll go with the speed.
What's up, Kent? What's up, Bill? What's up, Eric? We literally, this was last minute, unfortunately, to do the show. So, so hopefully people will start seeing that we're doing the show and they'll come on and join us in the chat. But either way, we're going to have a good time. And so, all right, that was pretty easy, actually. So you've got race number, we've got race number 1 in the books already. Gulfstream Park, you're on the 1 horse. I'm on the 6 horse. All right. Race number 2. Let's run the race simulator. We have another one here that seems to have a pace advantage, and the 4 looks like it's going to have a couple of length lead at the first call, and that's Fighting Words, and we'll run this thing and pulling away right now. And the 9 is closing, but the 9 is so far back early.
Yeah.
And unless the 4 stops, like, you don't want to see that. Like, first of all, at Gulfstream Park, when I look at the race simulator, David, I don't like seeing horses at the first and second call that are so far back.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it is reliant on the 4 horse running, because the 4 horse doesn't run. Like, if you were to get rid of the 4 horse out of here, watch. Then everybody's like within reason, right? So this is where you have to qualify the 4 horse. And so that's the most important thing, because if the 4 horse is no good anymore, then maybe now you can find a price, or you don't have to worry about any of these horses. So that's the way I handicap races like this. So we need to look at the 4 very carefully. Does this look like a horse that's going to burn money, or is this a horse that we can trust? And the first thing I see is it's not like this horse has ever had any really good win percentages. They've all been kind of low. It's never really been meant. It's not really been all that well bet. It's facing similar company. It must be easier company, because the win percentage is 41%, and this horse is 5-2 on the EE morning line. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm a little skeptical. There's not a lot of speed in here. Early foot is concerning, because sometimes you'll get an aggressive jock, Scotty, as we've seen, that will be closer to the pace and maybe just take the lead on a paceless scenario. But yeah, I don't trust the 4 enough to use that horse on top. And as far as the Scotty second pick, Theo's Thunder, the issue I have with Theo's Thunder, 0 for 9, picks up Paco, but I mean, this horse's races to me just seem like bland. I mean, the horse going to run 3rd, 4th, or, put in a decent effort. And the bottom line with me is I was all over a horse in here back in business, the 8, and that was scratched. So I had to call an audible. So, and even if I look at Flat Cap, the 3rd pick, and this horse has had 18 opportunities. And again, it got a similar form to Theo's Thunder, and stays at the same level here. And so there's nothing really that inspiring. So that led me to reach out for a horse that's rather lightly raced here. And it's kind of a guess, but it's the 2 here, Tickle, for Carlos David and Mirage. I like the work on May 2nd, a nice breeze, 4 and 48. And this horse now is out of Practical Joke, and should be able to handle the dirt, right? Claimed for 25 off of Brendan Walsh in his first dirt start, and was bet that day in a 7-horse field at a little less than 4-1, 7-2. And didn't really lift a hoof at all. And they moved to the turf off the claim, and now drops in class to 12.5. So if this horse can run at all, I think you got a decent, you probably get a 2nd or 3rd choice here, hopefully. And I think this is the horse that I'm landing on here because of the drop and going back to dirt, and the workout is here at Tickle.
I can understand it. I think it makes a lot of sense, because look, when you're look at the GSR. So on the dirt, it was a 65, and it didn't run bad against much tougher. got claimed out of that race for 25,000 and goes onto the turf. Why that horse was put on the turf, I have no idea, because the GSR dropped to 42. So that's a big drop, 23 points. And the horse didn't run a lick, and it was 44-1 and only 1% to win. But now it drops in class from a 44 SOR to a 34 SOR. So that's a big drop. And the GSR goes up and the win percentage goes up. These are all the things you're looking for in a horse. It's also 3-1 EE morning line. And this horse was 44-1 last time out. So I think that you can throw out that last race very easily. And like you said, the horses come back with a nice drill. And it's in a race where nobody here has ever shown that they want to win. You would take the lightly raced horse. There's a part of me that really wants to play this 4 horse only because, it gets the bug at 108 pounds. It's the fastest horse in the race. The win percentage goes up. Like, I would imagine this horse is going to be very tough to beat. The 9, even though Paco jumps aboard, God, this one just doesn't get. I mean, but Paco's a huge upgrade in jockey, though, for sure, David.
Oh yeah, when Scotty, when you're looking from going from Rojas to Paco, yeah, it's a huge jump in jockey. But again, this horse just has that blah form to me. And is Paco enough to move this horse up to win a race? I'm sure this horse is probably going to hit the board, but again, I'm not. You're dealing with a 12-5. Maiden claimers, so you're not going to get horses that are going to run too fast. So, and
I think it's important. I know Paco's aboard, but it's important for everybody to know. Look, at Gulfstream Park, especially, there's a couple of things going against the 9. 1, the post position. 2, look at the position at the first call. Like, horses don't come from that far back. We talk about the pace number; it's only a 2, so there's no speed on this horse. Like and it doesn't have a class advantage. So Paco or no Paco, this horse is going to get most likely overbet. I can't play this horse. Now, the 6 horse is going to be sitting evidently in a second position, flat cap. And you did talk about this horse a little bit. It does go up in win percentage. GSR goes up a little bit. But this one, even if you look at the race 2 back, it had every opportunity to run good, and it did. And I just can't. I'm not down with this horse. I think this race is between the 4 and the 1, or the 2. I mean, but we should look at the 1 real quickly, because this horse is 4-1 on the EE morning line, and it's lightly raced, and it really improved last time. It doesn't look like a very good breaker. It was 6 wide last time out. It didn't run bad. What about this one?
Yeah, 3rd race off the layoff. This is the 3rd try at this level, the 12-5 level. This horse is probably in a spot where eventually he will get a win at this level, you would think. It's not running badly in those last 2 races. So, and you had an excuse in the last one, bump break. I don't love the rail going a mile, but if you can get the right trip, if Pimentel can get the right trip, he's a contender. I wouldn't argue.
This horse is definitely a contender. Absolutely, this horse is a contender. We don't know what the 2 is going to do. I mean, we just don't know. Like, the 2 could win easy. Like, for the more I'm looking at this 1, the more it might. The 4 is going to get bet. The 2 is going to get bet. The 1 might be worth a bet.
Yeah. Again, if you're gonna, I wouldn't talk you off the 1. And in all honesty, I probably prefer the 1 over the 6, definitely, and probably the 9. So because of the horse being lightly raced.
The only thing I'm thrown off by when I look at the 1, though, I can't go with the 1. I mean, I think the 2 is going to be a lot closer to the pace than what the race simulator is saying, because it just is. The 4 is going to have such a big lead. Gets the bug. This bug, Fuenmayor, he could get his first win, for sure here. I gotta go with the 5. I just have to go with the 5. Or the 4, I mean, excuse me.
I was going to say, your 5's out. So,
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, speed, right? It's dangerous on the front end. Speed is deadly.
Yeah.
On speed. So I can see,
Yeah.
And gets in really light at 108.
Let's see here.
So, Scotty, I'm going to lock you in on the 4.
I'm putting in my plays right now. 4. I like 4-2-1. I don't like the projection of the 1 horse and how far back the 1's going to be of the 4. So, now again, we did talk about this in the last race, and that is, is the 4 reliable? But I think The 4 is going to have a really easy lead. There's a chance here that this horse goes gate to wire. I wouldn't be surprised. So, all right, let's go to race number 3. And
Hey, Wiz, thanks for joining. Race number 3.
What's up, Wiz?
Back to Tapeta. 5 on the
Happy Friday.
Tapeta. Happy Friday. And we got 2 scratches. Grand Joker, the 1.
1 and 5 are scratched out of the race. 3 horse is 3-1 in the EE morning line. It's interesting, the EE morning line. There's nobody really. There's no 8 to 5s. No, no 6 to 5s. It's, so it's interesting. The 3 horse. What we want to do is just look at the first call. The 3 is the fastest horse in the race, and it needs the lead. We can clearly see that. It broke its maiden last time out, David. That was 5 furlongs in the synthetic. You and I both know that speed is killer in these races. Then you have a horse like the 4 Corso's Pick, and I don't know that this horse wants. It looks like this horse might be a turf horse. I'm not sure, but it broke its maiden on that, and it drops in for a tag. First time for Orsino, coming in from Southern California. That one looks okay. This one needs a lead as well. So we are looking at the top 3 pace horses that seem to need the lead, and then you have a horse like the 7 horse who sits a very good trip after breaking its maiden for Heather Smolin. And Panici's aboard. Certainly looks live as the Equinedge second pick. And then throw out the last race for this one. What's interesting about this one? It faced a 60 group last time out, sneaky, and it was 17% to win. And so and it didn't run good. And I think partly the reason is because this is a type of horse that needs to be not too far from the lead for its best. And I think it certainly deserves a look under Jaramillo. That was just too tough of a field last time out. It broke its maiden fairly easily, and it looks like it can rate just a little bit. And so the problem for this horse is it could check back because, look, you got the 2, 3, and 4 that are faster than the 6, David, and the 7's faster than the 6, and then into the outside of the 6. So what do you think of this race? I mean, the speed horses, the 2, 3, and 4 need the lead. I'm kind of leaning towards a 7 right now. I'm just looking at this race for the first time, but I'm kind of leaning towards a 7. How about you?
Yeah, the 3 definitely looks like it's going to. He's got the top pace metric. And what's the difference between the 2 and the 3? I've got with one laptop here today, so the difference in pace metric.
So in the pace, it looks like in the first call, the 3 is going to have a half a length lead over the 2. That's about a length, but these are all horses, it looks like to me, that need the lead. There is going to be really fast pace. Now, I know it's 5 furlongs. If one of these horses, just one, was to clear, then you might not catch them for sure.
Correct. And I'm always reluctant with the 3. I've been burned so many times, and I rarely play these horses. Horses just breaking their maidens and moving up first time against winners. So that would lead me to be a little reluctant to land on the 3, even though the 3 is eligible to just wire this field. But it's going to take pressure from the 2. The 4 is got speed, but off the layoff maybe won't show as much. Maybe need a race. But Wiz pointed out something that I also saw. April 20th, this horse had a bullet workout on the synthetic on the Tapeta. So maybe this horse is going to really take to it and maybe can rate just a little bit. And that's the key. Can one of these speed balls rate slightly off one of the other speeds? So it's, and maybe just make a move around. I don't know. It looks like enough speed. These 5 furlong races, in all honesty, I've been burned by gate to wire jobs and many times. I'm willing to get burned again today because I think I'm going to go with sneaky here. He looks a little sneaky, and on the drop, maiden special took him a long time to break his maiden. In his 7th start, and he did. I think out of all the horses in here, he may be the best suited to just stay slightly off the pace and Jaramillo make a move. So I'm going to go with sneaky here, Scotty. That's what I'm going to land on, figuring that maybe he can stay close enough to that rapid pace. And if one of the 2 of the pace speedballs collapse, he might be the first to take over. So give me the 6, sneaky.
Okay, David's on the 6. I'm on the 7 horse. I'm going to take the 7, who's going to be, sitting right behind the 2, 3, and 4. And the thing about it is the 3 is the fastest horse in the race, but it's cheap. Look, it broke its maiden against a 38 group. Okay, now it likes the synthetic. Look at the GSR. It went from a 61 to a 72, but it does draw inside of the 4. The 4 is a very good breaker, but the 4, look at the 4. It has more class. So that class should move the horse up. I think the 3 and 4 are super even, and then the 2 is going to take the worst of it on the inside, right? The 2 is going to be on the inside of the 3 and the 4, and they all need the lead. They are going to be flying. This race is stopping. This race is going to be won by the 7 or 6, unless for whatever reason the 2, 3, or 4, one of them clears, and two would have to break bad, but it is shaping up to be a very, very fast race early. And I think the class of the 4 will help keep up with the 3 horse, who's cheaper. And the 3 horse was losing ground against a 38 SOR group at the same conditions. I mean, so now what's it supposed to do? If it was losing ground here and there's so much speed, the horse had an easy lead, a 2.5 lengths at the second call. It's not going to have a 2.5 length lead here. So if it was stopping there, I see it stopping again. You remember, I know this thing says 33%, you guys, and we're never going to we don't want all the metrics to be looking at the same thing. So, but my point is that the metrics, and this is where handicapping comes in, and it's subjective, and that is the system is not looking at how the pace scenario is going to play out. It doesn't. None of the metrics do. So it's just saying if everything was equal, this is what would happen. So now the new win percentage that we're going to start building, we're going to start working on it in about a month from now. We're going to actually throw the pace in there. And that's going to be really interesting to see what we can do with the win percentage algorithm, David.
Yeah, that's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Once that's incorporated, it's just going to do this. It's going to, the app is improving. Yeah, it'll be really fantastic once that's going.
What's up, Alfredo? My
hey,
friend.
Alfredo.
Love Alfredo. I miss you, bro. Hey, John, how are you?
Welcome, John.
It's a beautiful morning in Michigan. I don't think I've ever heard John say that, actually.
It's usually because it's like Rochester. It's usually not a beautiful morning in Michigan or Rochester until you get to maybe June, July, or August, or maybe September, right? Right, John? You get that lake. You probably get lake effects. Anytime you get a wind out of the north, northwest, northeast, it's a disaster. Yesterday when I left the airport in Rochester, it was 45 degrees and drizzling. It's goddamn May 8th. Come on.
Why do you want to be such a buzzkill?
I'm sorry. I'm sure Michigan is absolutely beautiful.
All right. So Sneaky has, in my opinion, has a huge look in here. I'm actually stalling a little bit because I don't know which one I want because I'm feeling like the 7 horse, although it rated here from the 2 hole last time out, and against a 46 group here. So I mean, it's had all inside posts and it's still been running good. I think the 7 is a major player here. I really do. And the 6 horse throw out that last race against a 60 group. And this horse ran nicely against a state bred, but still a maiden special weight group on the synthetic going 5.5 furlongs, but 5 furlongs won't be a problem here, I don't think. But yeah, 6 is a player. Jockey trainer combination between the 7. The 7 is 6%. I don't like that. And the 6 horse is 15%. 28%, 2-1 EE morning line. I'm going with you. I'm going. Okay. I gotta do it. I'm gonna go with the 6 horse as well.
Sneaky you are there, Mr.
Yeah. The 7 is the Equinedge second pick though.
Yeah, you were leading us down a path. If you were on the witness stand, we don't think you're on board with that 6 at all, and then you snuck in.
No, that's not true.
No.
I was talking up this horse's praises. I just said no. What I did say though was, if you look at the race simulator, I said at the first call, the 7, the 6 could get squeezed early, right? Because the 2, 3, and 4 are fast. I have no doubt the 6 is going to be in last place early.
Yes, no speed.
Right. is going to be in last. I wouldn't say no speed, David. Look,
no, he's got a little. No, he's got more speed. It looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, yeah, he's not going to. But again, with the fractions being really rapid, with some real speedballs on the front end, he may not have any choice.
But here's my question. Well, look, I'm counting on, but there was only 5 horses in the race. I'm counting on the 119 race, 3 races back here. But the horse, except for the first call, was really not that far back. This is not the type of horse that's going to be that far back.
Yep.
But it's been facing better horses. It's been facing better horses. I mean, the class of the field is the 2 and the 6 and the 4 is right there. That's why I think the 3 is going to be in big trouble, because the 2 and the 4 both have some class.
Right. So he's got pace pressure from both sides.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you got the inside pace and then you can stalk. He can stalk the 2 or take the lead, but then you're going to get the 4. So yeah. He's going to be sandwiched, and that's probably the worst spot to be out of the 3.
And if you look at the 6 horse, I just got to believe that this horse can rate a little bit, because
I think so.
it seems too classy it seems like a classy horse that can rate. It did burn. Well, it was 12-1 here, but it got third, but it was 24% to win in this race in December. The one thing I'll say about this horse, look at the one win the horse has. It was pretty much gate to wire. And it's not going gate to wire here. That's not going to happen.
No. And
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, as far as the pace metric, I would assume the 6 probably, the 6 and the 7 are about the same, right? It looks like maybe the 7 may have a little more speed than the 6.
Yeah,
they're both going to be back. So right, for the 6 or the 7 and 1, you're going to have to have a rapid pace and some sort of pace meltdown.
My hope's going to, is Panici going to give this horse a good ride? I mean, if I'm looking at the last race, but now this horse was also 33% to win too, so it was expected to win against an easier group. It was 5.5 furlongs. This is 6. See, here's the thing about this 5 furlong race. It in my opinion, a 5 furlong race and a 5.5 is a totally different race. You get these speed balls that can get 5 furlongs, but they can't get 5.5, right? And so maybe, show me which one of these horses actually could clear. Gosh darn it! Maybe this race is a lot tougher than what we're thinking, huh?
I don't know. I think maybe we're thinking too much into it. It looks like we got 3 speeds, and it sets up logically for a closer. But again, it's racing. One of those. This is only 5. So if one of those speeds gets off to even just a little bit of a trouble start, somebody could get loose. You know how that goes. The race is over before you know it. Yeah, it's not like going 6 or 7 where you have time to recover from a little bit. You get off to just a little bit of a bad step, and you're a length or 2 behind, you might be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the 6 horse.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the 6 horse. It's not an easy call, though, I'm going to stick with the 6. All right, so now we're going to head over to
the Belmont at the Big A.
Yep.
While Belmont's under renovation.
All right, let's do it. We have an Equinedge long shot. I was doing my coaching class yesterday, David, and there was a first-time starter from the rail at Gulfstream Park.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which race it was. And it also, the horse had the top pace number. The first-time starter did. And I'm like, guys, you could single this horse possibly. And I didn't end up singling it, but I ended up doing a daily double in the race right before it. 4 won the race, and which was the favorite over the 1. And the 1 ended up getting off at 5-1, I believe. And it got the lead and never looked back. The Equinedge long shot first-time starters are absolute money. They just are. And So when I see this, I see the horse is 15%. I see it's the Equinedge long shot, and I see it has a decent GSR. So it's tied for the top GSR. So there's a lot going for this horse. I would have liked to see maybe a little bit lower EE morning line, but I don't know that that matters. And then, you have to look at the two horse and you see these connections, of course, and these connections are always going to get bet. But this horse is only 15%. It's not even in the top two Equinedge picks. So it's 5-2 EE morning line as well. Maybe the connections are getting this horse over bet, David.
Yeah. I mean, now, and also you've got a wrinkle that gets thrown into this maiden special weight, that you've got a sloppy track. So I'm going to rely a little bit more on the GSRs here today. But, with first-time starters, it's always a guessing game. You go by the works, and at least it's the first race we can look where the money is when you're putting your wagers in. But because this is the second race, second leg of the feeders, we don't have that advantage. But the horse the filly that I think I want to get here beyond is I'm a little reluctant too, also on off tracks, to use first time starters. It's just like I guess a pet peeve of mine. So the horse I have interest in here, Scotty, is the 5 Sporting Lady. That's the top Scotty pick. Draws Irad, and obviously Irad's agent. They're looking for live mounts. They want to win every meet that they participate in. Now this horse does come off. She comes off of a pretty long layoff from August of last year at Colonial Downs on the turf. At 5.5, this horse, she's never run over. She's got 2 races. They're both 5.5 furlongs, so now she stretches out. But I like the works. I mean, she's got some pretty good works here. It seems like every work is better than the last. She's got 2 bullets on both May 2nd, April 25th. It's a layoff, but she's dealing with a couple of first-time starters. So I think I would normally be willing to land on Sporting Lady, and then you got your Pletcher Rapoli, who's always going to be bet. Camachi's got the first-time claim with Mila Candy. I'm sorry, a second-time starter with Mila Candy, and picks up Pratt. So it's a little difficult to pinpoint, who is the likeliest winner here, in my opinion. But the horse I have a little bit of interest in, and if this horse, if I don't use it and she happens to, win and burns my ass here, and I don't play her, I probably will have something on it. Is a 3, Cara's Chianti, out of Vino Rosso, and Vino Rosso, I believe.
Vino Rossos are not doing good. Believe me, I bought a Vino Rosso.
I know.
None of these horses are doing any good. They're just not.
Yeah, no, but I will tell you this, that in my opinion, well, first of all, the GSR, I believe the 5 has the highest GSR on a slop, right?
The 5 does,
Sporting Lady. Yeah, so Sporting Lady is going to be my prime pick. I'm going to land on Sporting Lady. The GSR on the 3 is it's not that far off. So, but here's the thing with Mitch Friedman. Now, Mitch Friedman is an old-time trainer at the NYRA circuit, and he's got a limited stable. It trains for Richard Greeley is his primary client, I believe. But the one thing that stuck out on the page to me, Scotty, is on April 25th, she's got a bullet workout from the gate.
Saw that.
Yeah, and
the workouts are very fast. Honestly, it's just almost too fast. And there's a lot of speed in here, by the way, too. And the horse draws inside, so I did see that, and I still think this horse is overmatched. 25-1 on the EE morning line, 3% to win, but I saw that workout, no doubt about it. And I think the horse has speed, but there is the 5 is very, very fast, and the 1 is super fast as well.
Right. And the thing, though, Scotty, with Mitch Friedman's barn, you usually don't see a fast workout like that, in my opinion. And when you do, I mean, Mitch, what's his number with first timers? It's probably not good. He's probably 8%. 8%, 10% trainer. That's about his number. But I will tell you that in my past experience with wagering on Mitch Friedman horses, he can score with a first-time starter. It's not impossible. And I have a little bit, again, 5 would be my top pick here. But I am concerned with the layoff, and it wouldn't surprise me if the 3 she ran a really good race. So I will use her in some capacity, if not in the feeder. I will use her on a separate win bet. So give me the 5 with an honorable mention to the 3, Mitch Friedman's first-time starter.
Okay. So, I think the 6, Cheryl's Delight, is going to be very tough in here because I think there's so much speed. And I mean, look at this horse is a talented horse. I mean, it got second going 9 furlongs, 6 furlongs, it was second. I mean, it does whatever. And then there's going to be a lot of speed in here. And I think the horse can rate and sit and going to get a nice trip. If you see the horse isn't going to be that far back of the 1 and the 5, the 3 is probably going to be up there dueling with the 1 and the 5. And then the 6 just sits there, and it's the only one with the blue arrow closing. I thought the 6 deserved a big look. Of course, a first-time starter, Equinedge long shot, I'm never going to ignore. Jockey trainer combination of the 6 with Martin and Lascano is 0 for 6, but maybe the 6 gets there today. This is a really, really tough race. It certainly is. But and then, by the way, too, I think this is important to note. At least yesterday, David, I don't know if you noticed it, but speed is holding at Belmont or at Aqueduct, excuse me. So, and maybe we should be considering that today. I mean, I don't know, but speed has been holding us. I'm not seeing a lot of horses coming from too far back, if at all. You?
Well, the game changed a little bit with that, in my opinion. Yesterday and over the past couple of days, when they were racing, the track was fast. So now you get a sloppy track. And to me, my advice to people, when you get a sloppy track, watch a race or two, see how the track's playing. But in my past experience, over the many years that I've been playing Aqueduct, that when it's sloppy and you have a lot of water on the top of the track surface, you can close. No problem closing. It's when it's sealed, before it gets real wet, is speed favoring. And when it's drying out, it's usually speed favoring. It's more like when it goes from sloppy to muddy to good. So I don't think, again, we'd have to watch a race or two, but I'm not going to avoid playing any closer because, avoid not playing a closer because I think it's speed favoring. So let's see how the track works out today.
So opening day over at Pimlico, we're going to show you this race because we can, and plus we have a lot of time. What's up, Eric C? Okay, we got so the track is listed as muddy, and we are not listing it as muddy. Oh no, we haven't fixed that yet. Hold on, maybe I have to refresh this. Let me see here. It says off turf. Let's see here. Let me tell Brad, we show Pimlico as off turf in race number 1. The track is listed as muddy. Please fix. So let's see here. Who might do good on a muddy track?
Who's got the highest GSR?
So Brad is going to fix that right now, but let me tell you. The 10 Imperial Spy might do very well on a wet track. And the 7. Yeah, so the top 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if somebody got scratched. 2, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15. 2, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15. So I don't know what the delay is. There is a pick 5. There's 42,000 in the pool. By the way, they are going to be rebuilding this track. They're redoing it, so they're committing to it. I believe this is going to be state owned as well.
Yeah, I did hear that. Yes.
Yeah. So it's Wiz likes the 10, and Rex likes the 12 to hit the board. Let's see, 12 is 22 to 1. Let's take a look at that. That's so it is speed. It's the fastest horse in the race, Rex, which you probably already know. And it doesn't really fade too much. And by the way, it is 8 to 1 on the EE morning line. The 15, though, is 4 to 1 right now, and it's 7 to 5 on the EE morning line. And that's a hard one to see. Now it's off the turf. It's the Equinedge long shot. So we'll see. 3 to 5 right now, though, on the 7 horse. That's a lot of money on this horse.
That is. And
right?
I'm a little surprised that the 12
Me?
is not taking any money at all, with the coming off the AE list. Again, this horse has been stopping in most of its races, but I mean, this maybe if the track moves this horse up a bit, that's a juicy price.
Yeah. Well, they're
7-10.
They're about to load into the gate. I have no clue. I think the 7's getting way over bet.
Van Tour.
I mean, the 10. I mean, there's nobody really stands out.
My Lucky Valentine, 3 to 5.
Super interested in the 15 horse at 7 to 5 EE morning line.
Imperial
When you look at the horse, it doesn't look like a 7 to 5 EE morning line. This horse is really never ever getting bet. So that's super interesting. And it's the Equinedge long shot. I mean, it's a short field of 6 anyways.
Yeah.
So
And it would surprise me that Kevin of Blackrock would lightly race with a drop down. Show speed and may take this field a long way.
It is acting up. You never like to see that. Like, I don't ever feel great about a horse that's got to go into the gate and without its rider. Personally, like I can't put money on a horse like that.
Jay says the 10 has a great wet number.
Yeah, it looked like the 10 and the 7 had the best wet numbers. 7's getting big money. It must be very live.
Maybe they know.
Oh, wow.
Awkward break there.
No.
I go one a night pop the latches.
There is no way this race is going to count.
Before the others.
The 15 and the 12 opened the gate before it even opened.
Yeah,
that's not a good way to start your first race.
No. And so on
this race is not going to count.
On the muddy going. On the outside is Kevin of Blackrock moving second to What a Night is third.
Man, they should have stopped the race immediately and said, hey, let's redo that. That's what they should have done.
And Imperial Spy trails the field.
Wow.
They're raced now with 5 1/2 furlongs.
Such a terrible way to start.
Secret Service just in front, 3 parts of.
Well, at least you may get an indication whether Pimlico is a speed favoring track with this off track.
Yeah.
So we talked about the 12. That was really easy price.
Third down the backstretch run.
Again, you guys. Again, for those of you just joining, the 15 and the 12 broke through the gate before things even opened, and they're letting the race run for whatever reason. 15 is done, but this race is not. I'm 90% sure this race is not going to count.
Kevin of Blackrock, who's racing in third position, as they're midway on the turn and coming past the 5/16 pole. And so the leader on Secret Service with a quarter to go at Pimlico, leading the way from the German
catching this horse
in the second spot as they
You're not catching this horse.
Well, I actually feel really bad for Rex right now.
Plenty to do toward the center of the track.
Right.
Oh, What a Night is driven
Here
in
comes
between
the
horses
7.
to try
Here
to run
comes
along for
the
second. And so it is on Secret
who
Service, who's a bit
15.
weary, but in front by
Actually
4.
rebroke.
On Secret Service from Oh What a Night, who's closing the gap. Oh What a Night's coming on the outside on Secret
It's
Service.
not going to matter.
On Secret Service and Oh What a Night.
Just held on. Secret Service was
great call, Rex. That so sucks. I feel bad for you. There's the 15. Yeah, the 15 opened that gate. Yeah, great call, Rex. That's a drag. Yeah, there's going to be an inquiry on that, you guys. That is just no way that's going to happen.
Well, did they declare the 15 just a non-starter and you get a refund?
I mean, well, the 12 broke. The 12 broke through the gate too because it reacted to the 15.
Steward's inquiry in the first race.
Yeah.
Please hold all tickets. In the opener here,
Let's see it again. Actually, the 15 is the one that broke through.
Yeah, I believe the 12 did too. Let's watch before the gates. All the gates opened.
Before they all did. So the 15 went first, and the 12 broke through second. The 12 was a little.
And then the rest of them opened up.
Inquiry held all tickets.
Yeah, Eric. Yeah, good point. They ran
Almost
one
coming up on
too.
the board in a moment.
You figure they got to jump on the field, right? But
That's true. That's a good point. Wow, that's too
Stand by.
bad. Like I feel bad for everybody associated at Pimlico,
12
honestly.
on
I mean,
Secret Service posted first.
that's such a
15
drag.
up with a night second. 7
It'll
by
be
Lindsay
interesting to see
Valentine
what they
third.
do. Would they
And number
ignore this
10,
and go no change?
Imperial Spy
you
fourth.
never know.
I listen, I hope
General
for
Stewards
Rex.
Inquiry hold all tickets.
If they don't show this anymore, don't show that gate opening. If they don't,
They're not going to keep it.
they might keep it if they don't show it. If they do keep showing it, then they have no choice. I'm surprised they're not showing this over and over again right now.
I agree.
Right? I mean, but that would cost the track a lot of money. $18-1. Great call. Now, this is not the part we want to see, you guys. We want to see the gate. That's not where the inquiry is. We don't care about that.
Well, Rex, thanks for saying great call. But the bottom line is that if he didn't break through the gate, I probably would have. Again, he had an easy lead and just barely hung on. But racing luck is racing luck. When you see
Inquiry hold all tickets once again in the first race.
Mm-hmm.
When you see value, sometimes you just play value.
Here we go. Watch the 15 and the 12, and then the gates open. Unfortunately, this has to be a non-starter race. See that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the 15 gate opened first, then the 12, then the 5, and the 2. They didn't open at the same time. So I don't think. Yeah.
No, the 15, then the 12, then all the gates. Watch.
I don't think they all opened afterward.
Watch
1,
that.
2. Yeah. No, they didn't open at the same time, Scotty.
No, they did not.
15, 12,
That's what
2.
I'm saying.
Right. 15, 12, and then the 2, and then like a split second later.
Oh, you're right. Then the 2 opened up before the gates opened up as well. You're right.
I don't see how this is not.
There's just no way.
Gate malfunction. Boy, if you had that exact. I've had a beat like this in the first race, like a weird thing. When I was at the track, I was just so frustrated. I just said, F it. I walked out. And I'm like, I'm going to play golf today. Screw this shit.
Let me tell you what they might do. They might disqualify the 15, 12, and 2. They might. So they don't have to, then they might do that.
Have to refund, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have to refund the 3 horse so that, yeah.
They might. I don't know what their rules are. Each track seems to have their own rules.
Let's text Tyler and see if he's got the rule book open.
No, it's terrible. It's terrible for everybody involved. Yeah.
But look at it this way. At least it happened during our show, so we have drama today.
We do.
And it's not even one of the feeders.
It's usually you creating all the drama.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. You like that because now we're looking at something else besides just you.
Right. Exactly.
Your attention to today's first race at Pimlico declared no contest.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
First race declared no contest.
Yeah.
Gates did not open in sync, as you see on the video monitors now.
In all honesty, that's something that happens at Finger Lakes. No, in
the first.
Yeah.
That's happened before when I've been.
No, don't even put that out there,
Starting
Rex.
gate doors
You're
open.
going to keep on handicapping like that. Don't even think like that because then the rest of the day is not going to be good.
But one thing I will tell you, Rex, if you do get that negative in your head and then something goes wrong in a second race, do what I do. Like, that's it. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to go out and play golf. I'm going to call an audible and then play tomorrow.
Yeah. No. You did a great job on your handicapping there. So, all right. So we're going to go on to something else. We're going to get out of here and we're going to share this screen and we're going to get back to, did we ever finish the first race over at Aqueduct?
I don't think we put in our exact picks, but I'm basically on the 5 Sporting Lady or in the 3 Cara's Chianti.
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm stalling a little bit. I'm going between the 4-horse and the 6 Churl's Delight. I'm a little worried. All right, hold on. Let me take the volume off of that. I'm a little worried about the. Yeah, it's not a good way to start, Mike, is it? That's all right. It's all right. We're gonna stay positive. I'm a little worried about the 6-horse, the 0 for 6 jockey trainer combination. A little worried about that. Why is Liscano not on the 4-horse? Do you find that kind of strange? I know that she does pretty good with Dylan Davis, but Liscano's usually on her horses, right?
Yeah, Jose Lozano's basically the go-to rider for Linda Rice's barn. But so when you have 2 entries in a race, I mean, Lozano,
well, she doesn't have 2. She doesn't have 2 entries. That's
I'm
not.
sorry. I'm sorry.
The 6
right.
isn't hers.
Carlos Martin. So
yeah.
Right. So Lozano either goes to Carlos Martin, opts to ride for him, which looks like the case because of those 2 second-place finishes. And Carlos Martin's a good trainer, but the bottom line is that, this mare has in the last 7 races has been either second or third.
Yeah.
And maybe just a case of second-itis with a horse she's going to run well again. And she's reluctant to go buy horses late. That's the impression I'm getting of her.
I didn't know you did impressions.
Oh, there you go. Oh, where's my drum?
All right, I got to go with the 4. Equinedge long shot, first time starter. If it wins and I don't use it, then I'm going to beat myself up. Okay, no more. Okay.
Well, if you're going with the 4,
yeah,
then I'm going to call an audible. I like the 5. And I said, I'm going to use the 3 and some other alternate wagering, but I'm going to use the 3, Caras Chianti in the feeder. How about that? Looking for.
All right.
But figuring that either the 3 or the 5 are going to win this race.
I think the 5's a major player. You sure you want to change off of that?
Yes. This is called value.
Okay, yeah. Fair enough.
Contest. Now, again, for real money wagering, I will use both of them.
Yeah. Irad, you were making the point about, you had me with Irad's trying to win the meet. Like, I mean, lightly raced.
You had me at Irad.
Yeah, you did.
You had me at
Irad. All right. Okay, let's, we've got 22 minutes, so we stalled a little bit, was perfect. We have 2 more races to cover, and then the first feeder race at Gulfstream Park, race number 1, is in 22 minutes. We will have to wait 42 minutes for the Aqueduct race, race 1, but it's okay. We've got qualifying races that we have to handicap as well, so it doesn't matter. All right, let me run the race here in race number 2.
Okay, and we're going a mile on the dirt, sloppy track for fillies, 10,000 claimers, fillies and mares. Well, I will tell you this. I got a statistic for you, Scotty.
Okay, bring it.
Did you know that in filly and mare races that are claiming 10,000 to 15 or less, I have an 0 for 73 record. So I am going to just take a guess. I'm only kidding, but it seems like it's
Stop it. You're exaggerating. Stop it.
This is a race I would avoid like the plague in real money wagering. And I just, I'm going to throw it out there right now. I'm just going with a long shot because I don't know any other approach. If you can just check, I see that I'm going to land on the 6, Halo City, who is probably not likely to win. However, if you look at the GSR, the only reason I would ever use this horse is because of the track condition.
Yeah.
Now, this horse on the wet surfaces, 11 starts, 4 wins, 3 seconds, and 2/3. So 9 out of 11, this horse has hit the board, and she just seems to move up on and off track. Has won 5 races at the Big A. I mean, she's 8 years old. She may have lost a step or 2, but again, I think the entry is going to be awful difficult to beat.
I'm going to give you Halo City. Let me just give you this, okay?
Sure.
Since you're 0 for 73, okay, you're going to be 0 for 74 with this one.
I'm willing.
Okay. Now, the jockey trainer combination is not only 0 for 6. The horse is not only 4% to win. The horse has 5 wins in 52 races. The horse is not competing in any of these races. It's just, picking up a couple of minor checks. zero shot. Like you're going to be over 75.
Well, Scotty, did you look at this statistic? However, if you look, well, this horse does have 5 career victories, correct?
And yeah,
so this is why the
5
however
career
comes
victories. The last one can't be seen on the page.
Correct, but this is where the however comes in. The horse, she does have 5 career victories.
Okay.
However, 4 of them are on wet tracks. 3 of her second place finishes are on wet tracks, and 2 of her third place finishes are on wet tracks. Yeah, she's 5 wins, 10 places, 10 shows. So she likes to run. She prefers to run second or third, but it's only because of the track condition.
David, if this horse wins this race, I'll give you my watch.
Okay, now
listen,
I'm going to hold you to that.
I'm wearing one today. I'm actually wearing one.
If you're wearing that watch, then I can officially retire after Halo City wins. So
yeah, I mean the battery doesn't work, so you'd have to get the battery fixed, but it's a good watch.
Well, the battery for that watch is probably more than what my watch costs. So. So I'm on Halo City.
Yeah,
Your words of wisdom, my friend.
5 wins in 150 races. Okay, whatever.
Eric likes the Brad Cox horse, but I don't want Brad Cox with a $10,000 claimer.
I mean that's fine, but this horse is competing, and it's competing against better horses. It's actually trying in the races. That's what you're looking for in a race that looks like this. You're looking for horses that are actually trying. This horse has 7 wins in 31 races, and is trying and goes to a much better trainer. I mean, 3 is a major player in here. This one, it looks okay. It seems to need the lead for its best. It looks like it can rate a little bit the 2, the top pick, but yeah, I would think the 3 is a player. And I'm going to stick to. I just don't see horses coming from too far back are not winning these races. It Takes Heart, the 1 needs the lead, and this one's pretty fast. Let's see what the pace scenario looks like up front. 1's very, very fast. It Takes Heart's going to have the lead.
And Wiz is between the 5 and the 6. Okay, well, Wiz gave my mare a little support there.
Look how far back the 5 is going to be, Wiz. Gold Crest. This is a nice horse too, but it's facing a little bit tougher here. And so I don't know. Like, I'm leaning towards the 2 and the 3. Trade Secret, I just don't think can rate, and there's so much speed in here. I got to go with the 3. So I'm going with the 3. Yeah.
All right, Scotty, I just had a thought that just popped into my brain, which is always a dangerous thing.
Oh, I was just going to say, I'm scared.
Yeah, I thought, right. So how about this? If Halo City wins this race instead of the watch deal, or even I'll go with the watch, how about you also have to claim that horse out of its next race?
Wait, hold on. Which one are we talking about again?
Halo City. You said has no shot. So how about if Halo City wins the race, you have to claim the horse out of its next race, and we'll. Just
hell! Like I'd rather give you my watch.
Well, and my game plan would be just to put him in her and turf races on the AEs for if they come off the turf, and we can run her at Penn National.
Yeah. She's going to need to run Penn. Yeah, maybe Penn. Yeah, Penn's a possibility. The horses might be a little too good over there. All right, we got. Let's see here. So I've got the 3-horse Floge. One more race to do. We've got Aqueduct race number 3. And let's run this race.
Yeah, Wiz, good point. Wiz is on top of it. Monmouth and Delaware Park. Monmouth rains a lot during this. Actually, they're off the turf tomorrow on their opening day. I usually go down to Monmouth for opening day, but I'm in Florida. I'm going to stay here. Franco gets off the 1 and 5 to ride 3. Eric, the issue I have is Brad Cox. We all know his ability as a trainer. what the hell does he want a $10,000 claimer in New York from? His assistants obviously run, but I guess, and they drop down to the bottom. They just want to get dumped this horse. I'm not sold.
By the way, I
third
think
race at the Belmont at the Big A, another head scratcher here. You've got
David.
Yes.
By the way, I believe my watch is worth more money than what that horse is worth. Just so you know.
Yes, for sure. No, hold it. Did you say you believe? No, it's not believe. I can guarantee you that your watch is worth more money than that. I just wanted to bust your balls that you'd be owning a horse that only can run on a wet track. And
I don't know what I would do with it. I mean, I'd have to turn it into a pet or something like that. Put it in my backyard.
There you go. Well, you can ship him to California. And while you're you can have it as a pet, right? But get along with your dog. So, all right, challenge accepted, David. So, all right. Third race at Belmont at the Big A, 7 furlongs, maiden 20. And again, this is a race. In all honesty, I'm a Naira guy, and this is not a race I'm usually keying on. But it looks to me, and it's a little surprising that the 7 is not one of the first 3 picks. So we won't go there first then. I'll go to the 2 very satisfactory, the top Scotty pick.
Okay.
I mean, this horse, there's nothing wrong with this horse, except that it is a maiden race and the horse is 0 for 12.
And it's burned a hell of a lot of money, too.
And it's been in this condition for at least, it seems like forever. So this is normally, and claimed from Brad Cox by Linda Rice. Now, Linda Rice would be probably more likely to have $10,000 to $20,000 claimers in a barn than Brad Cox. Is this a revenge? I've seen, it seems like they got something going back.
They do. They've been claiming off each other, and neither one of them has really been very successful doing that. No,
I think it's just like a grudge now. So I'd avoid anyone. So I'm going to avoid this horse. How about the Pope, a new Pope being announced yesterday? So there's your hunch play, guys. John the Baptist. So that's all you need to know, John the Baptist. So I think Battle Anthem for Greg Sacco dropping, going back to dirt. I'm surprised he's not one of the first 3 picks. So
why? What surprises you about it?
Well, he's 8 to 5 morning line. And what's the SOR that he comes out?
But he's 7 to 2 on the EE morning line. Yeah. The horse is only 15% to win. It's never been bet. It's not facing. It's the last group that wasn't a very strong group over at Tampa. Yeah. Maybe this horse is going to do better on dirt. I do think the horse will improve. But I mean, it looks like one of the ones. But if you see something, and who knows? I mean, it is dropping when you look at level from a maiden special weight. But that's also turf down to this $20,000 level, right?
Yes. So I'm interested in the race on March 8th, the 7 furlong race. The SOR in that race has got to be a little higher than this race, right? 48 to 44.
Yeah.
All right. So to me, and I've gone down this path before. I think that looked like a pretty decent race, to be honest with you. And that wasn't that Tampa Bay Derby Day, March 8th, I believe it was. Yes, a week before the NHC. And I think that might have been a stronger field than it looks. And maybe this horse is out of money. This horse should love 7 furlongs on the dirt. I don't know why they threw through this. Tried the turf. Gregor Sacco is a sharp trainer. So I think you have to use this horse. But the horse I'm going to, and again, to me, these NHC contests, feeders and quality, they're about looking for value. Yeah. And I had a little bit of interest. I don't love the horse, but I think I'm going to land on it, is the 5, Her Sugar Baby. Now, this horse was out of McLean's Music, pretty versatile. They can run on turf, run on dirt. The first 2 lifetime races, a 7.5 at Gulfstream on a turf, didn't lift a hoof. Then I stretched out to mile, down to a maiden 50, didn't lift a hoof. Chipped up to the Big A, maiden 20, probably the level this horse belongs at, and was actually favored that day, which is surprising to me without lifting a hoof on turf. That this horse went up the favorite, stalked the pace, and just got blown out by a winner. The horse who won the race won by 13 and some odd lengths. So that's a little deceiving, that 3rd place finish, because this horse just got blown out of the water. But it does look to be an improvement from the turf races. So maybe with the 2nd race on the dirt, cutting back, I like the cutbacks all the time on these maidens. And I mean, if you look at a horse like John the Baptist, this horse is out of more than ready and looks just like a turf horse. And Henning said, okay, I'm getting tired of this turf stuff. It's not working. So let's just try it. So I think you have to use the 7 Battle Anthem, but I have some interest. I'm going to land here on the 5 Her Sugar Baby for Melanie Glinnings with Mr. Bridgman in New York for this meet. So give me 5 with it's a flip of the coin for me, 5 or 7.
It's a tough race. It's hard to take the 2 horse, right? Because the 2 horses burn so much money.
Yeah. Hold on. Is there a Scotty, is there a jockey change on the 5 to Katie Davis?
It looks like it, yeah.
Yes. Okay. I like, and that's, to me, she rides that track a lot more than Mr. Bridgman does. So yeah, give me the 5 Her Sugar Baby. But I will also, if I had 2 entries in this feeder, I'd use the 7 on one and the 5 on the other.
So, you know, the 2 horse to me is burn too much money. The other thing I don't like about the 2 for Linda Rice claiming this horse off of Brad Cox, and she hasn't had much success doing that, but putting Chris Elliott aboard 0 for 5 jockey trainer combination. But look at the 7 horse Battle Anthem, 38% jockey trainer combination with Franco and Sacco. And the 3 horse John the Baptist, the one thing I do like about this horse is that it's really never been a high win percentage. But even when it was 19% here, it didn't run. It's just, this horse just doesn't get the pulse going either. Added blinkers last time out. When we look at any kind of changes, Carmouche jumps aboard, but they're only combinations 12%.
Keep going. I'm just got to grab my phone. It's charging.
No, you're fine.
I'll be back.
I mean, this is a really rough race on paper, and I'm kind of leaning towards the 7 horse. I'm going to go with David had mentioned the 7 horse initially, so he's going to get off of the 7. I'm going to get on the 7. When it wins, he's going to be really upset. But don't tell me.
Oh, well, I'm back. Yeah, then I'm off to 7. Yeah, no.
Oh man,
I'm going to stick.
I was just singing your praises.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you were.
Okay, we got Gulfstream Park race number 1. Listen, we timed this pretty well, David.
Yeah, we didn't even try, and we timed it well.
No,
you know what it was? It's credit Pimlico, because that parlayed right into it. We got a little. It did.
All right.
All right. So I am so confident now after going through these picks. I wasn't going to play a feeder, but just give me a second to make a. I have to make a deposit. I guess I haven't been doing so well on these.
Yeah. See. I'm not sure we want to take your opinion.
What's your account number? Can I?
I look at my 6 horse. Look at your 1 horse. Like the 6 horse is even money. The 1's going to stop, David. Are you sure you don't want to change the 6?
You hold on a second.
We talked about this. This one is just.
If you're going to ask me if I want to change to a 30-1 morning line, I'm like, well, maybe let me take a quicker look.
I'm just saying, like the 1 just stops, and here's the 6 horse. Like we're gonna get even money. It's gonna be free money on the 6. I don't even think the 1 gets second. I think it comes in 6-5.
All right, I'm gonna play 1 backup 6 second race. What do we got? Sporting Lady. I'm going on Carr's Chianti. Sporting Lady, my backup.
Have you ever been on a kiss cam at all, David?
That's the funniest thing that you say that. And the answer to that is yes.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, so now we got it. We all, inquiring minds want to know the story.
You've met my wife.
Of course.
And we're at a hockey game, and we're laughing at a kiss cam, blah, blah, blah. And it was a minor league hockey game. And all of a sudden I look, I'm like, can you believe this? Look at this. And she was so embarrassed because it was actually a minor league game. It was a sellout because I think it was a playoff game in best of my recollection. And she was embarrassed as hell. But we were. And the funny thing is we used to go to another minor league hockey state arena. And the guy who was the cameraman on the kiss cam, I think he got fired because it used to be hilarious. What he used to do, he used to do the kiss cam. You look for couples, especially older couples. You want it to be more. And then at the end, he would focus the kiss cam on 2 women and just see how that went. And it didn't go well. with him because like 2 weeks later he was fired, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. So the answer to that is yes.
So he's a guy's guy, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, he's a guy's guy. I can understand.
So have you ever been on, you and
On? I
your
have never.
significant other at the time been on?
Nope, never.
And it's funny that you asked that question. Do you have a desire to be on a kiss cam?
I don't.
Well, your Kings are out, so you won't be going.
I know.
Mhm.
Yeah, my Kings are out. So they're on the track over at Gulfstream Park, as you guys can see. The one horse, Cajun Anthem, is 7-5 favorite right now. Actually, not the favorite. The 6 is. So it's you and me, David. But I'm not even. Listen, I don't even have your one horse in the second spot. I got a cold 6-5 exacta. Hopefully, the chat room is not going to just bet that exacta too far down. But yeah, Rex is on the 2 horse. Really, that would have been the last horse I looked at.
And the answer to your question was yes, it was the Emmers, the Rochester Americans, farm team of the Buffalo Sabres.
I don't think we're going to go to. I think we're going to stay here at Gulfstream Park since this is the feeder. So what we'll do, David, how about we watch this race over at Gulfstream, race number 1, and then what we'll do is we'll start on the all the qualifying races. What do you think?
Sure, that works.
Okay.
My agent said I have a 2:29 to 2:30 limit today. So
okay, let's see here. What time?
We got plenty of time.
We have a couple of hours.
Yeah, we got a couple of hours.
We can do this. Speed handicapping, okay?
Yes.
Why? Like that's why we have Equine Edge, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. We're not. You can, if you want to do a pick 3, you can do that based on what we did handicapping wise. I can tell you that here, if you want to do a pick 3 here at Gulfstream, I'm on the 6. David's on the 1. David's on the 2 horse in race number 2. I'm on the 4. Fighting Words, and we're both on the 6 horse. Sneaky.
That's your single.
No, it wouldn't be my single.
No, I mean that's Imran Circle.
Oh, it is the 6 horse in race 3.
If he wants to, but if you want to play a skinny ticket,
let's see here. All right. And then the first race over at Aqueduct is in 22 minutes from now. And then here's some of the races we're going to be covering over on the qualifier. David, you've qualified with 1 entry so far. I've qualified with 1 entry so far. I've actually qualified for the BCBC as well.
I was going to say you have to add something to that, my friend.
What's that? Oh, yeah.
BCBC also. So you've done very well in some of these live money guys.
Yeah. Yours truly is in 4th right now on the tour.
And I just had a comment on that also. When I looked at I usually view it at least once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm not chasing the leaderboard, the tour this year. So, but I still like to see how my friends are doing. And Scotty, with all the success you've had, these guys, I can't believe that you've got 3 people in front of you. And that's the frustrating thing, that, you think you're doing really well, you're piling up points, and there's always somebody who's playing more contests and it's just.
I haven't. To honestly, and I think you know this, I'm not chasing this year. I've not chased at all. I only played once last week, and so I'm only going to play when it fits my schedule, and I'm not going to try to chase that. But
the thing is too, and I'm not chasing, but with that being said, if you happen to hit 2 live money contests in the space of a couple of months, I'm just going to say, maybe the pick your prize, and maybe one of the Belmont tour, express bet ones on big days, and you happen to score big in those, it'll catapult you right up there, and it'll be like, oh shit. So that's the thing. Sometimes the tour chases you, but I have no intention of chasing it this year, because it just totally last year when I went up to like 8th or 9th or 7th, it just totally consumed me the last 2 months, and it's really affected my day-to-day wager, horse playing, because I was too focused on that damn $5 million bonus. And so I'm going to avoid that this year.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong, $5 million bonus would come in very handy, but the odds of it, and also the thing too, after speaking to Brett Wiener in Vegas this winter, when I saw him the day before the first day of the NHC, wasn't aware of this, is that when you have 2 seats and you do finish first on the tour leaderboard, only one, you have to dictate or specify what entry you want that bonus on. So it's not on both entries.
Wow.
So can you imagine Dick saying, okay, I'm going to take this one, that's going to be my bonus, and then you win the NHC with the other one?
No,
that would just be, but don't get me wrong, close to $1 million is a good enough score, but then you can say, what if, right?
there's no real cash tournaments in the next couple of weeks, is there?
Yeah, we've got the Preakness Express Bet $1,500
Okay.
Preakness Challenge. Yeah, it might be in there.
That's next weekend, next Saturday.
Preakness.
Okay.
Now, you going to Preakness this year?
No, I went last year, but this year, no.
Didn't you go a couple of years in a row?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think I've been 3 times. It's a great time.
Yeah.
But I wasn't invited this year.
Really?
No, but I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't have gone anyways. Honestly, this year I've got too much going on.
Yeah.
I've been traveling a lot, and I'm back from California to Florida. I'm actually going back to Florida on Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I might pass you. Wave out your plane window when you're landing, because I'll be taking off. I'm actually heading back.
Oh, you're heading back to Florida?
Yeah, it's Mother's Day, and we have a 6:30 brunch, 6:30 dinner that we're going to at a restaurant in Rochester, or a suburb of Rochester. So I've got to get back. So I'll be passing. You'll be in Florida. I'm leaving Florida. I probably won't be coming back for a while.
No. Well, I'm sad for you.
If the weather starts, I can always make a quick trip. Hey, the Who is playing in August. They just announced their farewell tour, which I think is their 37th farewell tour that band has had. And where did they open? At Amarant Bank Arena in Sunrise, Florida. And where is my condo? Our condo, Sunrise, Florida. So I might be at that Who show in August.
There you go. They're gonna redo all that that entire track.
That's the thing.
And I supposedly the surrounding area they're going to redo as well, right? There's a lot. I mean, the surrounding area is not great. So no. Yeah. I mean, I wish them well. I really do. I know some of the people they're going to be running that and taking that on, and I think we'll actually have some partnerships with them as well. So I'm wishing all the best, but they've got a lot of work to do. But they're committed to it, which we need in horse racing. So, yeah. All right, they're at the gate. David, my 6 horses 3 to 5. Your 1 horse is 5
horses
to 5
are
has
at
got
the gate.
Down to 3 to 1.
It's now post time. 100,000 in the early pick 5 as the horses move forward for a start.
I don't like 3 to 5 on the
3 to 5 favorite. The Patter
the
Pop
6 is
own
the class
hits
of the
only
race,
words.
No
Class
matter
drop
what the
for the
one
daughter
does,
of
if the 6
Kozan.
breaks good,
Has 3 to beat,
gonna win
including
this
the very
race.
quick Cajun
1
Anthem.
wire, gate 2 wire.
9 races in total
I
today.
just don't
Rainbow
see it.
6
This horse
starts
is a
with race
stopping son of a
4.
gun.
Tracks are fast.
And the
Turn
class.
is firm.
If the 6
We're
can't
set for a
win,
start.
I'm rooting for you.
Racing at Gulfstream. At the rail, Cajun Anthem fires forward as expected and leads by a length and a half.
Kind of broken the air
On the
a little bit.
outside, the favorite, it's only words, moves to a flanking
the class
position
of
in
the 6
second.
move that
Away
6
in
up.
third is For the Thrill and Kiss
Love the
Cam as
close.
last of the 4 as they race their way to the
I got 4
half-mile
to
point.
5.
Cajun Anthem has inside position and the lead, but it's only
this
words
is
will not let her
well
get
for the
far.
one
It's
horse
right
with the 6
alongside
as
in
he
second. These 2 knockheads with half a mile to go. They've gone 3 better than Kiss Cam, who strides into third, and For the Thrill is now last. Jaramillo, aggressive here on its only words, and she has made a clear lead. She's now a length and a half in front, with just more than 5/16 to go. Danger appears to be Kiss Cam, who's ridden up on the outside by Vasquez to get into second, and 5 to the trailer For the Thrill.
I thought it was
the top of the stretch, a quarter
of a mile remains. It's Only Words, nursed on the top end with work to do through a 46 and 3 opening half mile. Kiss Cam is second. Off the turn and the stretch drive. It's Only Words, an 1/8 of a mile from home. Jaramillo asks for a kick, and he's got one. It's 4-5 on It's Only Words, and it's more than words. It's all effort. It's Only Words for Powder Pop Racing and Jenny Young. Kick off the Friday program with a clear and convincing 5-length win. Second, Kiss Cam for the thrills and the show photo with Cajun Anthem.
All right.
And
one for the good guy.
Jay, I will. I'm going to with your comment. I'll tell you what. It's a deal. But I'm not doing 18. I will do 9, and then sit in the cart and watch you play the other 9 while I have an adult beverage. How does that sound? I'm a nine-hole golf player.
Nice going, Bill.
Good going, Bill.
All right. We got the exacta. All right.
That exact is so short. I think you might owe the track money after that.
Well, let's see here. Let's see what a lot of well, yeah. Look at the 6-1 exacta was only $4, and the 6-5 was 5-2. So yeah. See, you guys bet that thing down. No, the one was just one of those pretenders. It's just one of those horses, David. We talked about that.
Yeah.
It stops all the time.
Yeah.
And then when the thing is that I don't think people that use Equine Edge don't sort the SOR enough. These top SOR horses, first of all, I know it had the lowest pace number, but this high SOR will move the horse up.
And when you go down to that class, exactly right. You tend to show more speed against a much lower class of horse. And
exactly.
Again, was I skeptical of the one going wire to wire? Absolutely, but it's basically when you get lone speed, and I relied too much on the pace metric. But that's the way I go. That's the way I roll, as they say. And if I have a pace metric, I'm always going to play that horse. A pace metric advantage that large, I'm always going to play that horse.
Yeah. Gotcha. All right, here's a look at the qualifying races. We're going to start with Aqueduct's race number 5.
I believe it's 7.
It's 5. The first event's race number 5. Yep.
They must have changed something around, Scotty, because yesterday it was 7 and 9. I thought so. Is it 5, 7, 9 Aqueduct?
So the races that we're going to be covering at Aqueduct are races 5, races 7, and that's it. Just 2.
Oh, that's why, because 9, they changed things because it was originally 7 and 9, so I didn't handicap the 5th. With the off the turf, I think the 9 scratched down to a 3 or 4 horse field. So okay, let's go to the 5th. I'll be looking at this from scratch because I was notes on this horse. So and here we go. We got another filly race, and is it a 17,500 claimer? So I got a little bit of a better shot here. This is a puzzler, a head scratcher to me, and I'm looking at it for the first time. So let's give it a shot. So the top Scotty pick is the 7 Despo's Dream.
Yeah, 3 horse has a really big win percentage of 44%.
Now, the first thing that I do when I'm, again, a race that I'm looking at for the first time, I want to see when we have a sloppy track, I want to see first, before I even get involved here, if any one of these fillies or mares have ever won on a sloppy track. Yeah. So we got a couple victims here. We've got Foxy Cara, first time off the claim for Mr. Wayne Potts. And you noticed in the last couple of days, the people who are playing the Belmont at Big A, Irad's been named on a couple of Wayne Potts horses. So that leads me to believe that maybe they think this barn is going to heat up. But this horse is 1 for 23 lifetime at that. The Big A. She's 2 for 30 lifetime over all the tracks that she's raced on. 1 for 24 at the distance. I'm sorry, 0 for 4 at the distance, 1 for 24 on a distance. But she's got 1 win on a wet track. So, yeah. But she looks, her last race when she was dropped down for 16 on the claim, it looks, it's improved. She had a bobble steady start. She got bet that day. And doesn't really move up much. The SOR is pretty similar, right? 50, 56. Well, no, she drops. The SOR is down. She drops. So that horse, even though it's only 2 for 30 lifetime, the sloppy track does win intrigues me. The 4 has won on a sloppy track. Joelle Rosario goes aboard this horse. She's 2 for 44 lifetime. So there goes the sloppy track plays. Forget that idea. The horse.
What about the 2 horse, Lady Arwen? I mean, if you throw out the last race, the horse wasn't meant to do anything. And I know the win percentage is low, but here's the thing about the 3 horse. I don't know what it is and why we're going to build a new win percentage algorithm. This thing is hitting, by the way, 33% since January. That being said, I personally don't like this algorithm. I see too many high numbers of horses like this. I couldn't bet this horse with your money. I mean, 38%, 42%, 45%. It just, I don't know what it is. It's 2 wins in 30 races. I don't know why the system would make this horse 44%. And so I'm not playing this horse. And so I'm not going to worry about the win percentage in this race. So I'm ignoring that. And so for that reason, if you look at how this horse has done in the last 3 races, throwing out the last race in that allowance race, then the 2 horse makes a lot of sense. And I can tell you on the new GSR that I'm testing, which is starting to show some very good promise, by the way. We've been working on it for 6 months and it's been nothing but trouble. It's been really tough. But it's saying, and this horse, it's saying that this horse is really going to like the off going. So maybe the 2 horse is the horse I'm going to go with the 2. Yeah.
You're going with the 2.
Yeah.
Lady Arwen over on a wet track. Was totally overmatched in her last race. Cuts back slightly. That was a good track. Comes from, I've got to make a pick here. I have interest in the 5. She's a Bernardini. This horse was really this is a Finger Lakes horse last year, and I believe I was there one day when she ran and lost money on her. But off the layoff, she came back to Aqueduct, and this usually, you don't see this too often. Off a layoff, stretching out, this horse, she scored blinkers on first time at 48-1 in an 8-horse field by 3 lengths. It's not like, she closed. It wasn't like a speed bias. She just got a contested pace. And then her second start to this level, she showed some early foot and then just totally collapsed. And at 8-1, and it was claimed by Michelle Nevin, who's one of my favorite NYRA trainers. She's kind of underrated and she's scored with decent prices. And let's see what her numbers are first off the claim. I believe they're about 13%.
13%, yeah.
Right. That's good enough for me. Kendrick picks up the mount for Maddie Oliver off. She's on. Kendrick is on. Kendrick will have this horse close to the lead. I like the Bernardini wet track type of scenario. If you can just check I didn't check the GSR for She's a Bernardini on the wet surface.
So the GSR for the 5 horse this is showing it, right? So the GSR is a 54. The 2 horse has got a 66. It's 7 points the highest, Lady Arwen. So Arwen, that's who I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the 2. Yeah. Okay.
But I'm going to go with the 5. She's a Bernardini again, only because of the value. We've got a morning line price on Lady Arwen at 5-2. She's a Bernardini 6-1 morning. Good enough for me. I'm all on. She's a Bernardini in race 5.
Sounds like a plan. All right, let's get out to race number 7. That'll be the last event we have over at Aqueduct.
Okay, now this is getting more into my specialty, Scotty. And Masquerade was scratched, and I'm glad because, I'm thinking, is that horse ever going to win again? The horse used to be good when Brad Cox, was it Brad Cox or Allstall had that horse? And then Diodorno had the horse, and for some reason this horse just can't run anymore, or maybe over his head in most of these races. But you're going a mile and 3/16 here. Optional claimer 50,000. And I'll go to Certified Lover Boy first. I never thought Certified Lover Boy, Scotty, was a distance horse. I think this horse, Certified Lover Boy, is 7. Best distance is 7 furlongs to a mile. I don't want any part of this horse going a mile and 3/16. We'll be up near the pace, but unless you've proven you can even go a mile and an eighth, I don't want any part of it. Chelino is, will be over bet here. It's logical second off the layoff, over a decent second in the last race on a muddy track. Never won on an off track, but that's a good race. That's a good comeback race for Brad Cox. That horse is going to be dangerous. Manny Franco gets the board again. May improve second race off the layoff, you would think, but I'm still not sold on Chelino going that far of a distance. Again, first time trying that distance, so I'm not sold on Chelino, and I'm going to cut right to the chase. I'm not on Mike Alicious. That outside post with not much speed, usually mile and 3/16, you want to be galloping on near or on or close to the lead. The horse that I think is just going to probably, I'm not going to say destroy this field. I'm surprised that he's not in the top 3. There's another one. Making a third race, a third start off a layoff is good skate for Mike Maker, Dylan Davis. Manny goes off. Manny's on Chelino, so that is a little bit of a concern. But if you look, off the long layoff, good skate came back and at a $50,000 claimer, had the lead and won. And it looks like this horse came back and was passed and came back. And that led me to plunge in the next time, April 3rd, which turned out to be a bad investment at 4-1. In a tough field, I thought that mile and 3/16, there was a little bit of a speed. It's a weird run race. The speed wasn't holding up that day. It didn't seem. This horse has won 2 races at the distance. Has won before at a mile and an eighth. I think he's the horse. Has won on wet tracks. This is the horse that gets the best trip here for Dylan Davis, and I'm all over good skate. Yeah, the 4 in this race. And the only honorable mention, I'm a little afraid of Jackson Heights stretching out. I just, this horse seems to be improving as a 5-year-old for Rob Atras. And Rob Atras has won 2 races at this meet already. And Rob Atras is too good of a trainer not to heat up. He usually does very well at the spring Belmont meet. So, Scotty, your words of wisdom?
Yeah, I kind of like the last race on the muddy track for the 3 horse. It only has 3 wins, though, in 25 races. Brad Cox only had this horse a couple of races, and he won off the claim of, again, here's another one, right? Linda Rice, or Brad Cox claims this off of Linda Rice. So they're seemingly doing a lot of that. Like Brad Cox, kind of been all over the New York circuit here. And, the 4 horse comes out of a 50,000 restricted claiming race 2 back, but the 3 horse was in a $35,000 restricted race. Same here with the 1 Certified Lover Boy. I know, this horse is going to have the lead. I have no doubt about that. It needs the lead. It's the fastest horse. The race simulator has this. I'm stalling a little bit on, I'm kind of liking the 1 a little bit, but the 3 horse got that second place finish last time out off of a layoff. You know what's impressive here, and I think I'm going to end up going with the 3 horse probably. But that being said, the fact that this horse is not in for a claiming tag, the 3, after second off the layoff, I think it's obviously Brad Cox is liking this horse, and so but Certified Lover Boy could have an easy lead here, but 9.5 furlongs. On the new GSR, and again, I'm testing it. It has the 1 horse, Certified Lover Boy as the top GSR for whatever that's worth.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. And Jackson Heights, I don't know. There's something about this one that just doesn't get the pulse going. It got second against 2 back against a $25,000 state bred group.
And Jackson Heights, Scott, is a New York bred and against Open Company. But the last couple of races, out of 2 of the last 3 have been an Open Company. The last race wasn't bad. At 20-1, I ran 4th on a muddy track. That seems to be, but never won on an off track. But I just have a feeling that horse is going to run well. I watched this horse the last couple of races, and I think this horse is going to benefit from stretching out to the mile and 3/16.
Mike Maker had the 6 horse, Michaelicious last time out, and now ends up in the barn of Carlos Martin, who's only 10%, so 1 in 10. And this one just looks okay. It's been facing similar. Carlos Martin, not known for first time with horses, and the jockey trainer combination. He's never had Santana aboard. It is 19% in what on paper is a really tough race. You know, Good Skate is interesting. Mike but
approach the gate. They're approaching the gate at the big A, Scotty.
Yeah.
The one's a little fractious.
I'm gonna.
The jock at the big A, the jock on the 6 is off as we speak.
I'm going to take the 1 horse.
Certified Lover Boy.
Yeah, not an easy. The 1-3-3-1. I'm going to go with the 1, recognizing probably on paper the 3 horses, the horse to beat. So, all right. So let's get out.
You don't have. So maybe this is a hunch play. Do you have that certification?
I don't.
Have you been certified as a Lover Boy?
I have not.
You hanging up in your man cave?
So this is the second leg of the feeder, and 19 people of 175 people had the 6 horse. I was one of them. And then here I have Yankee Doodle, the first time starter, who's 12-1, not getting bet. David, you were going to take Sporting Lady, the 5, who is 5-1 right now. The 2 horse is getting action. A lot of action for Todd Pletcher and Johnny Velasquez. The 1 Mila Lady is getting bet. Not surprisingly, Sherrill's Delight, who I almost went with, the 6 horse, is getting bet, but this one always gets bet, so I don't know that I'm worried about that.
Right.
But the 4 horse Yankee Doodle seems a little bit dead on the board, but we'll see. And then Karis Chianti, who you ended up going with, jockey trainer combination 0 for 17. The horse with some really fast works, only 3% to win, 25-1 EE morning line is 20-1 right now. So that horse is dead on the board. The 2's taking some what I call real action. It's not like it's just the favorite at 2-1, lukewarm favorite because of the connections. I mean, it's getting bet pretty hard.
Oh, I might have been saved. The 3 is absolutely not taking any money, and that's usually not a good sign. And the jock is off the 3.
So we're gonna play the sound for you guys. Unfortunately,
it's gonna be loaded into the gate. Rats.
Yeah, they're loading the 3 in. No, it didn't go in yet.
It doesn't look like he wants to run. He's like, who wants to run in this crap, this slop?
Does go in. Your favorite's going to be the first time starter 2 for Todd Pletcher, Johnny Velasquez, who, well, everybody that rides for Pletcher is pretty hot. The 4 horse first time starter goes in nicely. Looks very calm and good. You know who I'm worried about in this race, David? Is the 5 horse, who's your first choice, and the top Equinedge pick, and you went away from it. Shame on you.
Well, I went away from him in the feeder, but I have him for actual real dollar investment.
All right.
So 5 or the 3 works for me. 5-3 exacta would be fantastic, but the 3's absolutely dead on the board.
Yeah.
And with usually a Mitch Freeman first timer, we'll take a little bit of money. If the horse was like 10, 12, 14, 15-1, I'd say, maybe they have some faith. But all right, good luck, everybody.
3 broke slow, and that we knew the horse had speed, rushed up. My horse is in last right now. 5 Sporting Lady is sitting chilly at 5-1 in first. Sherrill's Delight kind of rushed up after Breaking Bad. The first time starter on the mud is not enjoying that at all. Here comes the 2 horse with Todd Pletcher. The one right now is looking at these horses. The one running the best. Mila's Candy. Well, the Equinedge picks had it, David. Your 3 ran huge, by the way, after breaking slow. But
Yeah, actually, if you want to know, they're just turning for home on my feed. So don't be a killjoy. You're ruining my.
5-1-1-5. Yeah, 5-1-1-5, and the big favorite in the race, the 2, is going to end up getting third, and it is 1-5-2 in the opener at Belmont. So 3-1 off odds. Look, I missed this, but look at the morning morning line on the 1 horse, David.
Yes, I did notice that. Yeah.
Right.
And off that the first debut race, we're at 7. This horse ran a decent race at 36-1.
Yeah.
This horse, and then Pratt on for Gonzalez.
I actually is a mistake. I don't know why I wouldn't have taken this 1 horse. Honestly, I'm looking at it and I don't know why. I actually don't. For whatever reason, I thought this horse was going to be part of the pace early.
Yeah, I did too. Mm-hmm.
I think maybe it was the rail that threw me off. In retrospect and looking at it, it's a horse I would have liked. And then the 5 ran huge, especially off that long layoff. I mean, it hadn't been seen since August of last year, David. So that was a really nice effort. Wow, look at the Equinedge picks had it. I went with the Equinedge long shot first time starter, which wins about 22% of the time in that situation. And that horse did not run at all. So that's going to happen though. So, okay. We've got Gulfstream Park race number 2 coming up. Why don't we go to Gulfstream Park race number 6 and do the second leg of the qualifier?
Okay, this is going to be an easy one for me because I had handicapped this race and I'm going to be using it in the real money wagering. So let me just pull up my notes here. The 6th race at Gulfstream Park, 1 mile and 70 yards on the Tapeta track. No scratches, and these are for maidens, Florida bred incentive. And I'll cut right to the chase here. And again, I'm no love for some of the horses I like today on the site. It's not in one of the top 3 Scotty picks, but it does have the blue ribbon, and that was interesting. 3-1 morning line, 9-5 EE morning line with the blue ribbon. And no love in the top 3 picks, which is interesting because I love this horse. Our superhero for Mark Casse, Live Oak, began his career at 1 mile on the turf, bet down to a little less than 6-1 during the championship meet. Had the lead and just got caught at the end. That was a good race, and then kind of disappointed last time out. Had the lead, but look at the post. This horse had the 11 post.
Yeah.
So it had to rush up to get that lead, was favored and just packed it in, but still only finished less than 2 lengths behind the winner. Now tries Tapeta, drops down to the maiden 50 level. It's a slightly weaker, basically same SOR level or similar. I just think there's really not too much in this race. And to me, the 3 horse looks like a likely winner. Now I know you're going to get support for the 2. We're back, young man. We are back, young man.
Yeah, they come out of the same race, but the 2 seems to need the lead for its best.
Yeah. I mean, the 3, but with blinkers on, may show speed, and the 1's got speed. So is there a possibility you got a speed duel here? But I'll take the risk that maybe the 3 can lay off a little bit because. This horse just took so much money at last outing and now draws a much better post than the 11. Goes from the 11 to the 3 post. This horse, they paid $650K in the Facing Tipton sale in August of 23. So I'm on our superhero, the 3.
All right, David on the 3. I had looked at this race and I thought it was tough. Forever now, the 4 horse seems to have a look. Paco jumps aboard for D'Angelo. My concern is like it's just this horse has burned some money, but it also seems to need the lead for its best. It did rate here a little bit going the same conditions, and so maybe it can rate a little bit. This is last time I was in the maiden special weight on the turf. So even though it had a good win percentage, you can throw that off. That being said, this horse has been look at the win percentages of this horse, and all 7 lifetime races never been lower than 18%, and so it has burned a lot of money.
Yeah,
the 2 should have the lead, so I think it will. Now the 2 and the 3 come out of the same race, and the 3 broke from the 11 hole, like you were mentioning, and Gonzalez is super aggressive too. So maybe with the blinkers, maybe they're trying to duel, with the 2. Maybe that'll, or the 2 gets the lead because it's just naturally faster, and then that hurts the 3 horse. That's certainly a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
They both had good win percentages. The 3 had 29% last time out. Today it's 38%. The 2 had 20%. Today it's 31%. So they both go up. The 4 horse, again, this is one that's burned a lot of money. Let's look at the jockey trainer combinations. Velasquez off of the 4 horse to ride the 2 for Mike Maker. So I wonder, Zayas is off the 1 and the 2 for Joe Orsino. Like, I don't know. What do you make of that? Right? I mean, there didn't seem to be anything wrong. And then Maker never rides Vasquez. Like, would he have literally taken Zayas off? Does that make any sense to you?
Oh, yeah, maybe Zayas' agent just opted to go with the Orsino horse, Valiant Winter.
I mean, on paper, this horse doesn't look all that great. It doesn't have any kind of workout from Dan that's showing very, very fast.
Right, and came out of that same race on March 7th. First turf start, though, so you could give the horse an excuse. From the 3 posts, just finished dead last. So It may be a tough horse to take here, right?
I mean, it looks like it. Did you need me? 80. Gosh. There's a lot of speed in here. Speed kills speed too. So if the 2 is the fastest horse in the race, then the 2 could be tough to catch. Could somebody, if they go really, really fast, could a horse like this 5 horse, at a price?
Horse just has not lived, just awful finishes.
I know.
Wow. This horse has finished 20 lengths, 24 and 36 lengths behind.
Yeah. All right, let's
But his first time on turf, and has a nice couple of workouts leading up to this turf race. And yeah, I just can't. Me with first time turfers looking for value, but I can't go there with the 5.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 2.
You're going with the 2. We are back, young man. I'm on the 3, our superhero. We got the 2nd at Gulfstream Park coming up.
2 and 3. All right, Gulfstream Park race number 2. David's on the 2 horse, Here Tickle, and I'm on the 4 horse, Fighting Words, who is the speed of the race. We knew that the 9 horse Theo's Thunder would get bet, David, but 2-1 favorite. I'm not sure I saw that one coming.
No.
Right. The Immortal J, the 1 horse, we knew this horse would get bet, but I think the horse is going to have too much to do coming from too far back, has a very, small win percentage. But so I don't love that. Here Tickle, the 2 horse, the horse you're using. This horse should sit a good trip, says Justin. Dangerous in a soft group. I agree. I like our 2 horses. I like the 4 horse, and I like the 2. We felt like the 9 had too much to do. I think the 9's getting overbet. 6 didn't look like much. I mean, to me, this looks like 2-4. That's what it looks like. The 2 horse has a big GSR in this field.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Moving into line for race number 2, there's a trio of 5-2 shots here. The 2, 4, and 9 all holding at 5-2 in the betting market.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think the one David
Fighting
is the type
Words
of horse
will be
that'll probably
next.
get third, coming from behind, or the 9 get third. But
yeah,
Waiting for
Yeah,
Flat Cap,
the ones-
Theo's Thunder,
I can
and
go,
Last Shall Be
in agreement
First.
with you there.
Last Shall Be First. And the early pick
All
4.
right, good luck, everybody.
Locked in, ready for 1 mile. All set. And they're off.
That's a weird break.
Level beginning. Looking for an early leader. It looks like Fighting Words is one of the first into play and reaches out for the early advantage. Last Shall Be First, charging up on the outside. These two race on. Flat Cap is away in third. 2.5 more to Theo's Thunder. Moving at his inside is Gentleman Caller. Heretical is next in front of Immortal J. And out the back is Immortal J. In fact, last of all, as Fighting Words gets clear. 24 and 2
Well, we
for the
talked
opening
about the
quarter.
1
Fighting
and the
Words
9.
in front by 2.5. Flat Cap is second.
We
Last Shall
talked
Be
about the
First
1
is
and the 9
third.
having to come
A
from
gap
so
of 4
far
more to
back. and that's
Heretical,
exactly
who's
what
raced
we're
into
looking at.
fourth. Alongside him is Gentleman Caller. 2 back to Theo's Thunder, who's lost a bit of ground, and Immortal J is a long way behind as they make their way
Now,
half
this
a
is the
mile
bug.
from
I mean,
home.
the bug on
Fighting
the
Words
scoreboard
tries
right now
to
is
stretch him
108
out, and he's done a very good job of it. They're strung out over a ton of real estate here through a 47 3/2 miles. So that's a big-time second quarter.
Yeah, pretty
As
fast.
around the far turn, Fighting
But it
Words
looks like
by
everybody's
4.5.
scrubbing
Flat
on
Cap
these
second.
horses.
Last
I
Shall
have
Be
a six
First
or
third.
something.
Working overtime into
Here comes
fourth,
the one.
that's Heretical. Immortal J tries to pick up some pieces. He's had some pace ahead of him, grinding home about 15 lengths off the lead of the Fighting Words. Fighting Words to the
All right,
top of the
pace- here's
stretch
the
is in
pace
front. He
melting
leads
down.
by a length. Flat Cap is there second toward the outside. Last Shall Be First is now third. 2 back to the rail. Heretical is now fourth, and then it's back to Immortal J. His bit is stalled as they reach the
So
top of the lane.
Fighting Words
Flat
is done.
Cap the target. Flat Cap an eighth of a mile from home with
And
a
4 to
winning
1,
lead.
this horse is
Last
gonna
Shall
win
Be
this race.
First, a big price and trying to hold on to second from Heretical, who's trying to get into third. Flat Cap and Leonel Reyes, they're in front.
Well,
By 4 in the end.
the horse
Last
you
Shall Be
wanted here
First
was
is
the
second,
10
up for
at
third
25
Heretical,
to
then
1
it was Fighting Words and Immortal
contest.
J.
So,
in
Yeah.
if you had the 10, I couldn't come up with that
sure.
one.
No. I don't think we could have seen that. 2 didn't run at all. Was all out from the beginning.
No.
The 9, I think we predicted that. The 1 coming from way back, I think we predicted that. The 6 didn't look like much, but this wasn't a strong field, and the Equinedge long shot wins the race. A disappointing effort from the 4. Like, I'm going to make sure I put a note that says, "Do not ever bet this horse." Like, I don't see it. If it's not going to win at this level like that, at every opportunity, not reliable. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
All right.
we're off the 6. So where we're going next, Scotty?
So we've got Belmont race number 2, or Aqueduct race number 2, coming up in 9 minutes as part of this feeder. So far, no good in this feeder. But we have the qualifier. So we did race number 6 at Gulfstream Park. I took the 2, you took the 3. And so now we're going to go to event number 4, which is Gulfstream Park race number 7. Let's do that.
Gulfstream Park race number 7. We've got 6.5 furlongs for 62.50 claimers. And these are another filly and mare race. And the top Scotty pick is Madness. And let's see. Who did I like here? Yeah, I'm not totally sold on Madness. Let's look at the pace situation, race simulator here.
I mean, it looks like the 3 and the 1. I think the 5 is going to be part of the pace early. It looks like it can rate a little bit. I actually think the 5 is not a bad long shot, but the Equinedge long. Oh, it's the Equinedge long shot as well. Yeah, I know this horse pretty well. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't see this horse winning. The 1 or 3 is going to win, David. But I do think that the 5.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at the 1, Scotty, Miguel's Bell, been very popular at the claim box the last 3 times, but I think back on March 2nd, looks like a voided claim. But these horses take turns beating each other. You got Madness finished ahead of Miguel's Bell the last 2 starts, and then she reversed the tables a few back. Am I looking for a new shooting? Noble Dreamer has got a shot. But, let's look at Patty's Having Fun. I don't usually, I can't remember how many times I've actually bet a Ronald Coy horse, but in this case, this horse is dropping down. She's dropping down from the 8,000 level to.
That post is brutal, though, David. I will tell you.
I know, Scotty. Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look where the horse is projected to be. There's so much speed in this race, and this horse, if it does go, it's going to be wide most likely. And if it decides not to go, then it's going to be sitting and it's going to have to check back and go backwards. Like it's going to be, and horses from the 7 post going 1 turn on the dirt at Gulfstream Park, 7 and wider posts, they don't really run very well unless they have an advantage of some sort, like a high class number or a speed, advantage. Like I'm not saying the 7 can't win, but I'm trying to see how it's supposed to win. I can't see it. It's going to be difficult. Yes.
Yeah. And also the stretch out does concern me because again, Patty's Having Fun has won at 5.5 and 6, but only started 2 times at 6.5. And maybe this horse maybe she's out of St. Patrick's Day. She just wants to go 6 or less than 6. Noble Dreamer is a Tapeta horse. So I don't really want any part of the 6.
What about Miguel's Bell? Who this horse can rate some. Is going to save ground on the inside.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. The only thing is, over. Yeah. I guess.
He's 12%. I mean, Madness can rate. He drew the rail last time out, and it didn't look like that was that great of a trip. And Gonzalez is aggressive, though. I wouldn't be surprised if I would not be surprised if Gonzalez sent this horse. Like he's so aggressive. I am actually a big fan of Edwin Gonzalez.
Right, and the Harvey Pack axiom: never bet a horse to do something it's never done as the favorite. And that applies to almost everybody. Whoever's going to be the favorite, never gone 6.5. Nobody has won at 6.5. And it looks like some of these fillies and mares, they're just basically pure sprinters. And with that being said, I guess I'm going to have to be forced to land on Miguel's Bell, the 1 horse. I mean, the race is that she's in good form, even though she's lost to Madness twice. But I'm thinking maybe with the rail draw and the stretch out in distance a little bit, I'm concerned about any of these gals getting 6.5. But we got to make a pick, so I'm on Miguel's Bell a little reluctantly.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense though. Like it just does. And 418. So they faced each other the last couple of times, and Madness got 2nd in both those races. Miguel's Bell on 3-2 got 3rd, and so Miguel's Bell's got 3rd on each occasion. But Peter Walder does claim this horse, and let's see if he made any changes. Let's go to the changes. If you go to the changes, we do have Aqueduct coming up in 4 minutes. We're going to go to. So Rios and Walder are 19% jockey trainer combination. There is something about the Equinedge long shot that I like as a surprise, but I mean, the 1 can rate a little bit, the 3 can rate a little bit. Why do I feel like these? I don't love anybody, but why do I feel like the 3 and the 1 are vulnerable?
Yeah, well, they look like the likeliest winners, right?
They do. They do look like the likeliest winners.
And I was originally going to go with Patty's Having Fun off the drop down. She's won 3 races over this track in 7 starts.
I just hate that post position and the horse's style with these personally.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I opted to go with the rail horse.
I mean, if the 7 had an inside post, I would love it better. Like, and probably choose that horse. Noble Dreamer, who's 9-5 on the odds makers morning line, but is 9-2 on our morning line. I will say this. I mean, the horse is going on dirt. It's done well on dirt, but it's just been a synthetic horse, at least in the last 8 races. It is 9-2 on the E morning line, but that doesn't necessarily, I don't think it should throw us off, because you've got the 1 and the 3 here and the 7. And so maybe that's not a big deal. The GSR goes from 51 to 62. It does go up, but the thing about it is that this is actually a natural closer, but it only has 3 wins in 27 races, but they all kind of look like that. So maybe, what do you think about the 6 horse? If you look at it from that perspective, maybe we should be looking closer at the 6.
Well,
aboard.
Yeah, out of all the Tapeta starts, even though the horse, she has won 2 races at Gulfstream over the main, well, 1 race at Gulfstream over the main track, it looks like, and 1 second in 5 starts. So yeah, maybe getting back to the dirt. Never tried the distance. She looks more like a pure sprinter to me. The 2 times she stretched out, she was actually, no, she's not a pure sprinter. She won going 1 mile and 70 on the.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, she's got a shot with Paco.
Yeah,
but at 9-5,
Rios, listen to this. Rios has ridden this horse in the last 1, 2, 3, 4 races, and now jumps on the 1 horse.
Right.
So does jump on the 1. There, obviously, Walder is, statistically a much better trainer than Miller for the 1, Miguel's Bell, and the horse has been in the money in 14 of 24 races, where the 3 Horse Madness has been in the money 11 of 19 races. So those 2 look equal to me, though the 3 horse has had the 1's measure. But again, you have a new trainer in Walder, who could be the difference.
And Scotty, they are going towards the gate at Belmont. At Belmont at the Big A. I almost got tripped up like you do with Belmont. But I will tell you this, and this is the race to watch. Halo City, the 6 horse, who Scotty says has got absolutely no shot, is 13-1. A little less than the morning line, and she looks fantastic on the track. She just loves wet track. She started raining this morning.
Stop it.
And she ate an extra carrot, I heard. And she is so full of run today that she's going to win by 10 in the slop.
Okay.
I got my track. I'm ready to go. And then she's going to say, I hope after this race they retire me.
Is there any kind of bet that I can put in here of a horse that's going to get last?
Yeah. Hold it. I don't think I have. It's less than a minute to post. I don't think I have time to call Vinny. Vinny would probably be able to do that for you, my guy.
Sure.
I'm going to take a break. I'll be back after the race. I'm going to watch this race live because.
You're going to take a break when the horse that you swore is going to win, and okay.
I want to save myself the utter embarrassment, of
course. Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Right. Timing's everything. But when he comes back, I'll make a grand entrance when the horse wins. So I'll be back in 2 minutes. Good luck, everybody.
All right. I say it's a 3-2-1 trifecta in some way or another. 3-2-1, 3-1-2. 3-5 is a little bit lower than I thought, but again, we're going to play this for you. Hopefully you can hear this. There is the 6 horse going in Halo City for David, who David swears this horse loves the wet track, and so that's going to be the reason why the 6 is going to win. And they all broke fairly good. 5 checked back a little bit in the last, but the 1 and the 2 are dueling. 2 now takes the lead a little bit over the 1 horse. There is a 1A in the race now. 3 Floach is sitting in 3rd right now, about a length back, well in hand. Halo City is in fourth right now. Again, that's David's horse. And here comes the 5 horse on the rail and the 1-8 Gold Crest on the outside. So and it does look like David's horse is going to get last. 5 horse not running so good either. Here comes the 3. Flo's running really, really good. 1A, though, Gold Crest is running very, very good as well. There's Flo, Gold Crest, and Trade Secret right now, who seems to be struggling in third a little bit. David's horse all of a sudden got some interest. It was wide, but all of a sudden this horse started kicking it in a little bit. Three's going to win this race. And 3-1 exacta. 2 horse did not get in there. And Flo's got third. Not Flo's, but David's horse got third. 3-1 though. 3-1. I didn't do an exacta in that race though. I just did and I wish I would have actually, a 3-1, 3-2. 2 horse disappointed. Trade Secret did not run, but 3 horse Floge, 27% to win, does win the race easily. But I think David's got to be happy with that third place finish. Should be a broodmare. Yeah. Wiz, whose side are you on? All right, Churchill Downs. Just for the heck of it, let's just throw in a curveball here. Again, we can't show you the race, but why not? It is a turf race. I welcome the turf with all the wet tracks that are going on right now. And why not just throw that in real quickly? The Equinage Long Shot, the 7 horse. I know this horse. Let's look at 13%. It seems to need the lead for its best. But this field, compared to what it's been facing, what's my note? He runs with his head up some, was a bit rank early, might be a sprinter, tries. Okay, well, that's a good sign. And a lot of times these horses that do that, they come back running good. Now, this horse can't get the lead, but it certainly deserves a look. You got a first-time starter in the 9 horse. And that horse actually has a good GSR too. It's only 1%, but let's just see about the 3. 3 is going to be the big favorite. They're going 5 furlongs on the turf, and the race is they're probably going into the gate right now. 7 is super interesting. The one's going to come, it's kind of mid-pack, but the GSR is low. But and the 2 horses 3-1 right now. But I would just give I would give the 7 horse a little bit of a look. I kind of like the 1 E-Lion, and I'll give you a long shot too. The 10 out of Pie. This one's not a bad horse. On the turf, might run good at a price. So 7, 1, 10 for me, somewhere around there. We're just looking at Churchill Downs, David. Just because it's a turf race, maybe break it up a little bit. They're on the turf course now. And I've been following this 7 horse, and the horse is cutting back. Seems to need the lead for its best, but it's 11-1 right now.
Well, Scotty, you get to keep your watch.
Yeah.
My 6 horse did finish good.
Ran very good.
Pretty good, close, yeah.
Yeah.
Wide. Told you that probably the sloppy track moved her up a little bit.
Yeah.
I hit the try, but that's not going to help too much. It's not going to be that big.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to Churchill.
Yeah, they're on the turf. Why not break it up a little bit?
Yeah, where's Mike Soletta today? We both have our hunch playing the 5th at Churchill. Great day for hockey. – Forget about handicapping. It's always a great day for hockey. Who'd you like here in the third, Scotty?
7.
Oh, Borrowed Time. I know this horse. I'll bet my watch. Oh, never mind. I think this horse has a decent shot. Cutting back to 5. Hey, Mike is here. Hi, Mike. You saw the great day for hockey on the 5th race. It's too good of a hunch play for us, right? One's not a great day for hockey. That's all I want to know. And I'm down here in South Florida. I'm thinking of going to the game tonight, but I might go to a watch party instead. Panthers 0-2 down to the Maple Leafs, and the arena's like 5 minutes from here. We'll see.
David, we got to do Gulfstream Park 9, and
then we got about 45 minutes to get through those rest.
All right, I'm gonna run this, and then I'm gonna be right back. I gotta take Zen. I'll be right back.
Sure. All right, so Scotty's running the race simulator. We've got Gulfstream Park 9th. It's a mile on the turf for maiden 35,000 claimers, 3 years old. And this, in all honesty, we got late scratches of the 3, the 5, and the 6. In all honesty, I really struggle with this race. You've got these $35,000 claimers going on the turf are a little puzzling to me. But with that being said, I didn't spend a lot of time on this race. I'm on the top Scotty pick big time. It doesn't look like there's much in here whatsoever. We've got some horses that have tried turf. We've got 1 or 2 that are trying it for the first time with questionable turf breeding. So I'll go with the Divisadero horse, Corda Fuego. This horse is well bred for the turf out of Kitten's Joy. And the first race this horse tried at this level, coming out of the Hutchinson, which was a really aggressive spot for first time out. So maybe they thought they had a talented dirt horse. That didn't end up being the case. The horse never lifted a hoof, moved to its proper surface that it wants. Much improved race, running 3rd. With that being said, it wasn't the greatest race. It was just like kind of an even race. But again, I think this race may be a little even weaker. There's a 42 SOR group, and come out of a higher, a little bit, very similar SOR group. But I just think this horse, to me, is a standout. So I didn't spend a lot of time here. Corda Fuega, if it runs back to that last race, maybe improve a little bit. Should be really tough to beat here. And I'll just mention honorable mention to Shash Sloan, Garofalo's horse, a claim for 17.5, move up to 35. Comes out of the same race as Corda Fuega, and lost to the 4 by a little less than 2 lengths. So I think the 4 probably has a little more upside than the 9. So it's all the 4 to me, Corda Fuega. So now we're going to go. I'm going to start looking at the other race, the next race on the docket, as they say. And the 3rd at Churchill just went off, but I don't have the ability to. Oh, that went off a while ago. Won by the 2 horse, Initialized, Brendan Walsh, who was on fire. Okay. So the next race we have another feeder race coming up, I believe. Let me just check that. Gulfstream Park. Gulfstream Park race 3 is coming up on part of our feeders. And we've got Culminate as the 5-2 favorite. Actually, no, Smoking Jack Flash, the 7, is the favorite at 2-1. And 4 horses taking money. Culminate 5-2. Sneaky 5-2. Scotty and I are both on the 6 Sneaky. And Corso's pick is also taking money at 3-1. And they're about 3 minutes to post. And let me just check the leaderboard here in the contest. Okay, after 4 races have been completed, we've got with 175 entries. We've got John Herron in first place, $37.20. Evan Littman, $36.30. Michael Baychek, familiar name, champ Michael Baychek at $36.30. So Justin Donnelly, Chris Couples, number 6. Good job so far, Chris. Ray Austin.
Good job, Chris.
Yeah. So there's the top 10. And Chris has got 2 in there. Chris has also got, he's in 15th with 28.10. Good luck, Chris. So, all right, Scotty, I'm just going to the next race. So I just let everybody know how strong I am on Qualifier. I think he's a logical favorite, and I did not spend a lot of time on this. He's going to be tough to beat.
Okay.
Great turf breeding.
What about the 9 horse, Chase Sloan?
That's the other horse I mentioned. They faced each other in the last race, and Qualifier in their first turf start beat that horse. So I'm thinking the 4 has more upside than the 9 horse.
Yeah, I can understand why you'd say that.
And yeah, the 9 was racing at 17.5, and that might have been. And there's no, believe me, I don't see any world beaters in here, or nobody. It doesn't look like there's much in here. So when it doesn't look like there's much, I have no problem using a favorite. So I'm on the 4.
What about the 1 Bad Obsession?
Ran evenly in both turf starts. Would have to improve. I don't love the rail unless you have speed. So I'm out.
Yeah.
And the turf breedings in that, even though the horse has been racing on turf. Guinevere, what's the GSR? I'm never a big fan of Guinevere's on a turf, with all things being equal.
Yeah.
I would almost be confident enough to say that if I'm playing horizontals, that I'd be singling in the last 2 Qualifier. All right, Chris needs the 6 for the pick 3. Good luck, Chris.
I could see the 4 as well, David, because I mean it's just lightly raced. It went 2 turns in turf for the first time last time out and ran a very creditable race. So you would imagine that the horse is going to improve. But why take Edwin Gonzalez off? I don't know.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Was he on? Was he on one of the? Oh, he was on the 6 horse flag officer.
Yeah, and also the 4 has a bullet workout on May 2nd.
Oh, let's see here. Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't have a. Usually, Dan's he's putting notes on the workouts on these horses, so you can see. He actually has a note March 14th, but that was a while ago. So that horse hasn't had. Yeah, I'm not. I don't love the 9 jockey trainer combination. Zayas was off the 6 horse to ride the 2. Yeah, but that horse doesn't look great. As far as changes go, blinkers were added on the 7. The 10 horse was just gelded. That results in about 11% wins on horses. The horse does draw outside. Horse looks okay. Maybe the gelding will help. And it's on the turf for the first time. And, I mean, decent turf rating. It's okay. Yeah, I'm with you on the 4.
Okay.
I mean, the 9 is an interesting one, but the 9's had some chances. Keeps on getting second. It did have the 10 hole last time out, but it does draw outside here. Let's just see on the race simulator who's projected to. The 9 will probably sit back, or the 4 will probably sit back. It doesn't need to, so it could be on the lead, but it doesn't have to be. Yeah. The 4. Yeah, I'm on the 4 with you. Makes total sense.
Okay, lock us both in the 4 Quarter Fuega. Next one, we've got the.
So now we're at Santa Anita, race number 1.
Yes. Okay.
But let's get out to Gulfstream Park first, though.
Yes.
So when we go to Gulfstream Park, this is race number 3, and Chris said he needed who?
Chris needs the 6, and right for the pick 3.
What's
And
up,
Mike?
Mike's there. I didn't see Mike.
Yeah, hi, Mike. Mike is. I failed to mention your name. I'm sorry about that, Mike. He's hanging out by a thread in 32nd, and let's see who Mike needs here. He needs.
Look at all the speed horses.
He needs a
They're
6
not
also.
being fed.
Yeah.
Look, we talked about this. I almost used the 7. That horse.
We're
These
all
are
on
your 2
6.
favorites,
Mhm.
and the 6. Look at these speed horses. 1,000% is what we had talked about. There's so much speed between the 2, 3, and 4. I can completely just see the 6 and 7 closing. 1,000%.
And watch the 2 go wire to wire.
Yeah. 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 Well, if one of these speed horses clears, 1,000% can go gate to wire. But which one is that going to be?
Yeah, exactly. Right. And in a lot of these races, you'll get one of them who you anticipate being up there getting off a step slow.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned before, just
The horses are
one step slow and you're done.
It's now post
You're done.
time.
Exactly right.
Lining up, moving in for race
3
number
was
3.
losing ground against better
1
horses
and
last
5
night.
have been withdrawn. It's a field of 5.
7 could get a good trip here too. All right. Good luck, David.
All right. Good luck to you. Good luck.
Last
with
one
you.
up is Smoking Jack Flash. 5 furlongs the trip. They're all in line.
They're all in line. All right. We just need these 3 horses to duel their asses off.
They're off and running. Perfect start. They're across the course early. From the inside, it's Culminate, Buchero's Dude, and Corso's Pick. The gray Corso's Pick to the top. Wide on the course in the white blinkers is Sneaky, and trying to get over is Smoking Jack Flash. And the run past
they
the
gave
half-mile
this
point,
3 the
Culminate,
lead.
clear by a length and a half.
Yeah,
Corso's
that
Pick
easy
is
lead.
second. Buchero's Dude is third. Up to the outside, it's
Oh, but the horse
Sneaky,
was stopping
and 2
again
back to the
easily.
trailer, Smoking Jack Flash. Rajiv Mirage letting Culminate strut his stuff. He's at the 5/16 on top by 3. Sneaky just ran into second, and on the outside, Smoking Jack Flash just ran into
Here
third.
comes the closer,
Corso's
Scotty.
Pick beats a
Yeah, it's
retreat
just
at the
looking good,
inside.
but he may
Buchero's
go
Dude,
down to
they're on their
7.
way home. On the outside, here comes Sneaky powering forward
There
under
we go,
confident
Sneaky,
handling.
Sneaky.
1/8 of a mile to go. Sneaky by 2.5. Smoking Jack Flash has rallied into second, but that's as far as he gets. Sneaky making short work of him.
Yep.
Sneaky by 4 in the end, 2 for Jaramillo. Second, Smoking
Nailed
Jack
that
Flash.
race.
Third, Buchero's Dude.
Well, a
Fourth,
race
Culminate
that we
in
the
56
scenario
and 3.
didn't pan out exactly. The early foot I thought would be a lot more contentious, but the 3's a stopper, and the 6 and the 7 were legit closers.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Ross. Yeah, we nailed that thing. Like we had that thing. Thank you, Ross. We had that thing perfect. Yep.
And of course, they were the 2 favorites, but that's how.
Well, but they weren't on the odds makers morning line too.
Exactly.
And then they weren't. That was a wide open race. And,
Because we gave out, because everybody bet what we gave out, Scotty.
Well, they did, but look, we got 2-1 on the 6 horse. That's going to help.
Okay. In a small field. I have no problem, Scotty, with
And-
2-1 in a short field.
Well, look, there's nothing wrong with this. Well, look at the 6-7 was a $7 exacta. How is that? You look at that though. If the 6 wins and the 2, 3, or 4 come in second, look how nice those exactas are. I mean, everybody was seeing the same thing we were seeing.
Right. You figured none of those 3 speedballs are going to last.
Yeah, even in a 5 furlong race in which speed is dominant.
Right.
So that's what it looked like. So yeah, amazing. And that's what it came out. 6 was dominant in that race. Absolutely dominant. So good call,
Okay.
David.
We've got to get to the first race, Scotty. Santa
Where?
Anita. Santa Anita.
Oh, yep. Santa Anita race number 1. How much time do we have? 11, 12?
We got
So we
about
got 12, 1, 2. So
Got a
half
half
hour?
half hour.
All right. We've got 5 races at Santa Anita to get through.
Okay, first race at Sandy. We got a mile and a turf coming up.
Let's see here. All right. Let's run it.
Scotty, I know
6, 7, 2, 3, 4, 6. Sneaky,
Oh, I'm
sneaky.
sorry.
The winner.
Thank you.
Okay, here we go. So we've got pretty contentious pace here. We got a 3. Okay. And we got the 3 with the lead, but here comes the 2, and the 2 flies right by. Okay. All right. So we got some notes here.
Yep. So Justin's notes, that team had a rough winter meet, but the start of spring has been hitting better, 2 of 8. And Dan's got Bluegrass. Dan's got good workouts here for the 3 horse, who's going to have the lead. And this horse broke bad last time out and still almost won the race, not even getting the lead. It's going to be very, very difficult to beat this horse.
Right.
And I can tell you that on the GSR, the new GSR has the 3 horses, the top GSR. So, so I think the 3 is going to be very, very tough. Now, Gray Thunder is the Equinedge second pick. This one's got nice works as well, and didn't run terrible in its first lifetime start in January.
Yeah.
Off slow, ran pretty good for Baltus, who's pretty much known as a turf trainer. And I can tell you it's the lowest GSR on the new GSRs. So interesting. It doesn't have a great GSR here as well. And for those reasons, and it didn't break good, like but the 5 must be a late scratch, huh?
I guess so, right?
I wonder why the system hasn't updated. That's weird.
Yeah, let me just check. Let me just confirm that. It probably is. Yeah, 5's out. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I will tell you that this is the 3. The concern I have, again, off slow the last time, and did close for 3rd. Has good workouts. We love the workout pattern. First time turf though for outwork, and the horses that have started on turf don't look like any world beaters.
No.
This is a race that I normally, Scotty, would look for a first time turfer. So we've got choice of 2, either the 3 outwork, who's going to be the probably with the scratch of the 5 will definitely be the favorite. But as a favorite, never won on a turf, never raced on a turf. It's hard for me to take. So I'm going with the other first-time turfer. That's the 7 non-domicile.
I can see that.
Yeah, and you got Rispoli up, and who the hell is riding any better than Rispoli?
Nobody.
Blinkers off. You got 6 furlongs on it. That's a prep race. It had trouble at the beginning, shuffled, brushed, whatever, and blinkers off today. And I just think that against the non-world beaters here, and especially with the scratch of the 5, this horse will offer a better price than some of the others in here. So give me the 7 non-domicile.
Yeah, I could completely see it. I think my only concern is when you look at the GSR Plus grid, it's showing sprinting.
Yeah, that's the only issue, but I don't want to take any short price here, especially now, like I said, the scratch of the 5, the 3 is going to be over bet. The 2 is going to take too much money. I'm not sold on High King or Maxville, so that's my only other.
I don't know. The two's going to take money. The 7's going to take money. I mean, and not only that too. What's interesting is when you look at the 3, it doesn't look like a horse that's supposed to be 6 to 5 on the morning line, which is why I like that. Like, the fact that you've got these decent horses here in the 2 and the 7, and and the system is saying this the 3 horse should be 6 to 5. I don't know. It's I'm going to go with the 3.
Okay, you're on a 3, and I am on the
I
7.
like the 7 though, and Rispoli just been on fire.
Yeah.
So
And you'll get it's going to be the 3rd choice, so it's not going to be a huge price, especially because of the scratch of the 5. Okay.
we've got Aqueduct race number 3. Let's go to real quickly.
Okay.
I'm on the 7, Battle Anthem. You're on the 5.
I'm on the 5, Her Sugar Baby.
So you originally were on the 7. John the Baptist is your favorite. Very
Really?
Satisfactory is not getting really any action.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm surprised that John the Baptist is the favorite.
Me too.
Off those turf races, but that's maybe everybody's playing the Pope angle, the Pope hunch play, the Catholic hunch play.
All right, they're going into the gate. We can't show you the race, you guys, but I'll give you my best Trevor Denman. So the 3 horse is your favorite right now at 2-1. The 2 horse is 5-2, and the 7 horse is 2-1. I like the 7. David is on. Who are you on? Oh, you're on the 5, David.
I'm on the 5, Sugar Baby, Her Sugar Baby.
And a very wet track over at Aqueduct. Sloppy. It's been sealed, so usually that favors speed. Five hesitant to go in. There's a look at the big long shot. Longest shot on the board at 56-1 is the 6. And the outside is the 7 horse. So the 3 horse John the Baptist is on the lead right now. The 5 Her Sugar Baby's in between horses. The 6 horse of Long Shot starting to fall back a little bit on the outside. Battle Anthem is really never looked comfortable, although he's closing a little bit. But the 1 seems to be doing better on the rail. And the 2 horse never ran. 7's done, but the 3 horse looking very good right now. David, your 5 horse is 7-1 in second place right now. Looking pretty good. The 2 horse is making actually a nice late run, some nice strides. But John the Baptist looking pretty dominant here on the lead right now. Hold on 5 for second. But really loving the slop right now is the 3. But here comes the 1 for second. It's going to be 3-1-2.
3-1-2.
3 wins easily.
3-1-2.
From the bell.
All right.
Yeah, from the bell. Okay. Okay, no, where are we going? Santa Anita race number 4 is where we got to go.
Yeah, good point, Wiz. You like the holy water today. Santa Anita race 4, 6 furlongs, maiden 12-5 for California bred sired maidens.
Race 5 at Pimlico.
This is a 12-5 claimer at Santa Anita. Oops, hold on a second. Oh, I got low battery. Just give me a second to get my charger. And I will tell you here, for save time, I'm all over. Yeah, I'm going with one of the drop downs, avoiding Charlie Pride. James J. Braddock.
Oh, I love that movie. What was that movie called?
Oh shoot,
He was the boxer. That was such a great movie.
Yeah. Let me grab my charger.
All right, guys, help me out with the movie. What was that movie? James J. Braddock. Man, if you haven't seen that movie, whatever that movie is called, somebody's going to tell me. But that movie is amazing. You definitely want to watch that movie. So James J. Braddock, he was back in the Depression and couldn't find work. And he was a boxer that had potential but never really fulfilled that potential. And then he had a chance to fight the champion of the world and beat him. And it was such a great movie.
Yeah, I don't remember the name. All right.
It was Russell Crowe, for sure, when he was younger.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. And then what's her name, too? She was a fairly new actress at the time. She got her first start in Cinderella Man. Thank you, Patrick. Cinderella Man.
Thanks.
And then what's her name? She got her first start in with Tom Cruise. Show Me the Money. What was?
Yeah, one of my favorite movies.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So who are you on, David? And why?
The fourth?
Yeah.
James J. Braddock. That's how we came up.
Oh, that's how we came up with that. Okay.
I'm taking one of the drop downs. I mean,
Got
it's
it.
the best guess here.
All right, let's take a look at this.
Yeah.
So what is it about this horse you're liking?
I don't like anybody in here, but going from a 50 claimer to a 12.5, and Charlie Pride has got the same move. So does Riding By. So to me, it's one of the three. And I'll take. I took Rispoli in the first leg. I'm going to take Frasu in the second leg. So
I got to take. I have to take Charlie Pride.
Okay.
Hold on. Are you ready for my best Charlie Pride?
Go ahead.
All right. Oh, the crystal chandeliers light up the paintings on your walls. The marble statuettes are standing safely in the hall. That's
not bad. That's not bad.
Yep.
For knowing that I've only probably listened to one Charlie Pride song in my entire life, I guess that's fine. That's good.
All right. Well, crystal chandelier. Yep.
Okay.
I wanted to be a country. I wanted to be a country singer. That's what I wanted to be before a metal salesperson.
Oh, okay. There you go. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. And a country again. I'm not a big country fan, so we'll go on to something else.
Bite your tongue. Bite your tongue.
I gotcha.
Have you ever been to a country bar where they're two-stepping and four-stepping? Have you if you've ever done that? And oh, come on. You'd never go back.
No, I have been. That's why I wanted to run and hide and get that.
Oh, no. It's the best.
I'm a headbanger, my friend. I'm a former headbanger. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
give me a little Metallica. Give me a little AC/DC. That's still a little mainstream.
Metallica. Speaking of Metallica, they do the intro song for Virginia Tech's football team. Did you know that? Have you ever seen that?
Enter Sandman.
Yeah, Enter Sandman. Amazing. If you've never watched that, go on and watch the video of that. In fact, I think one time they played it live. I think at one of the Virginia Tech football games. That'll get you pumped up, and everybody's jumping up and down. That's pretty phenomenal, actually. Yeah. You gotta check that out.
Yeah, Mariano Rivera of the Yankees that was his song coming out from the bullpen. It was great.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's fun.
All right, here we go.
All right. I'm on the board. I gotta take Charlie Pride. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I'm on James J. Braddock. Okay.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's go to the fifth race at Santa Anita. And
fifth race Santa Anita, we got a 6 furlong turf sprint, and this was I was struggling with this race too. We have one scratch, Song of Shadows, and Ultimate High is the top Scotty pick. Goes back to turf off that not too impressive dirt start. I'm not sold on him. The second, Dancing Maxine comes off a win. Can she win 2 straight? That is the $1 million question. even though she's won 2 out of her 5 turf starts. Vronsky faint, cuts back off the claim. Lamborghini, Doug O'Neill will have to be closing here. Doesn't look like, yeah, interesting race, but I am going to land here, Scotty, on Frezu again. I'm on the Italian stallion jockey train here. Give me Lamborghini for Doug O'Neill, dropping in class, going to be flying at the end. I don't know if he's going to get there, but I'm not sold on Ultimate High. Dancing with Maxine, I'm not sure she's going to win 2 straight at this level. Well, she actually goes down to $20,000 claimer, but I think the Lamborghini is the SOR is probably is somewhat of a drop down.
So for me, there's just nothing in this race.
Yeah.
And the 3-horse Ultimate High. Look, you got to throw out that last race. First of all, the GSR dropped 21 points. The horse had a ton of trouble, tight early, wide. Like this horse, this was an atrocious trip. Throw the race out. And this is what this horse wants to do. The GSR is going up 9 points. And I mean, a mile would be better, but it doesn't matter. This is not a strong field. Give me the 3-horse all day long.
Okay, so Scotty's on the 3. I'm riding on the 6, Lamborghini. Okay, so we got the 6. We got 2 more at Santa Anita. Perfect. So we got the 6th at Santa Anita, 6.5, maiden 50 claimer. 4 Cal Breds again.
How are we doing in the feeder, anyways?
I'm out.
Am I out too?
I haven't looked.
Baycheck is in
Yeah, Baycheck.
Look at Chris. Chris Couples is in 3rd. Good job, Chris.
And I believe where's Mike? Mike is
not in the first page. Soletta is in 32nd. How many people are? It's the top 20%, and there's 175. So 35 people. 35 people. So right now, Mike. So is it done?
It's done. Yes.
Oh, so Mike did make it. Good
Mike
job.
made it. Congrats, Mike.
Yeah,
Congrats, Chris.
obviously Chris made it.
And congrats, champ Mike Baycheck, who enters the qualifier.
Ray Arsenal. There you go. How about Ray Arsenal? Talk
Ray,
about
hey, good job.
another champion.
And Ray I run into all the time at Gulfstream. He's got, you go up to that 2nd floor Sport of Kings room. He's got that table there.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
You have to go and kiss. I told him, wear your ring, your champion ring. So when people file into the Sport of Kings, they can kiss the ring.
Yeah.
He thought it was a good idea. All right, Scotty, 6th race, Santa Anita. We've got going 6.5. Like I said, maiden 50 claimers. You got the race simulator. Here you go. You got a ultimate hunch play. We just had John the Baptist win the day after you had a new pope elected. Well, how about Pinot Nono, whose sire is Catholic Boy? And this is going to be the favorite. It should be the favorite, right? Well, maybe last call poll. But off that last race at 50, which this horse was flying at the end, just missed. And has I like the workout pattern, especially the work on April 26th. So give me the 6, Pio Nono, the Catholic Boy horse. And just an honorable mention that I think this horse going to dirt for the first time may stand a chance to hit the board here. And back to Frank, the Italian Franco here, Megaton Man. I just think this horse may hit the board and run a much better race than last time out. So, but for the contest, it's going to be the 6 for me, Pio Nono.
All right.
Based on that last race.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards last call, Paul, but I can understand like
0 for 21.
Yeah, but also Pinot Nono is going to get a nice trip. I mean, with a good break, it broke from the 9 hole last time out, going 6 furlongs. I mean, that's pretty phenomenal the way that horse ran, especially being wide. It's probably the horse to beat. Last call, Paul. has burnt a little bit of money, and it's had good win percentages. Van Dyke's aboard. No, I'm going to go with you. Actually, I'm going to go with the 6.
Okay, so Scotty and I, yep, that worked out. Maybe the 6 is the number that worked out with Sneaky.
Yeah.
So we're both on a 6 here. Pino and no.
It seems like a lot of chalk today. Are you noticing
Yes,
that?
yeah. It could be. You might have a total of $60, $70 winning these 10 races.
Yeah.
Looking at it.
You know, that if it is chalk, that always plays towards me, because I find long shots, of course, but I usually find long shots to be like second or third. That's what I look for. Right. My natural inclination is to find not the favorite, but favorites, you know, and then key them in the cash tournaments with long shots in the minor placings. So, is this race all about the 5 horse run a mile and night?
Yeah, you obviously got to beat the 5 to cash 9 to 5 morning line, but I just think that I'm not going with this horse, Scotty, only because this horse, I mean, it's the likely favorite, obviously. And I think there's some decent horses in here, some decent fillies and mares. So I'm looking for a more of a price. The way I'm looking at it, even if I get a second and don't use the second or third choice, you may get enough of a price for that place number that would almost negate using that 5. So sometimes in these contests, I'm looking for value in any case.
Right.
Because you got a 25 to 1 shot run second at Gulfstream. That's the horse you needed. You didn't need the favorite, or that's the horse you wanted. So I'm going with Royal Charter. I landed on Royal Charter here, Scotty. This horse now, she's third off a layoff for Leonard Powell, who's Barney's. They actually won 4 races, 4 out of 18, 22% at this meet. The horse has won 2 races at the distance. You go back April 6th, almost a little more than a year ago. Had a nice win at an optional 50,000 claimer. And I just think maybe the stretch out, this horse is probably getting back into form. I think that the way I'm looking at it, I'm looking for a little value here. So I'm going with the 10 to 1 morning line. And obviously the other logical horse is the 5. So it would be the 4. Royal Charter. If I had a second ticket, I would be on the 5, run a mile in my shoes. How'd you find this race, Scotty?
For sure, it's going to be either the 2 or the 5. I do think the 5 is going to be very tough on the lead, David. I think the 2 horse is going to run a huge race. But the 2 horse is a major player. 8 wins and 11 second place finishes in 29 races.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, this might not even be a bad claim for $80,000. They're probably finding it tough for this horse to find the right races, because it's met all the conditions, and now it needs to be in some of the stakes races, but it's not good enough to win those races. You know what I mean? So, but what a nice horse this has been for Mark Blatt. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was to claim this horse. But maybe take it somewhere else where you can find a spot for it. But this is it's a very, very nice horse. The horse can rate, can be on the lead. Like, the truth is, like, it controls everything. It controls everything, and it actually caught a good field right now. Right, but Saria, the 2 is great for Mark Blatt, but the 5 horse I'm talking about, I'm sorry, for Jeff Mullins. I mean, this horse, it just controls everything.
Absolutely.
But Saria is this is a nice horse. I mean, look at was 2 lengths back at the second call in the last race against a 68 group. Now Flavian Pratt's not aboard. And Grace 2 is aboard again for Phil D'Amato on the 6 horse. But is this horse training good? I don't know. I mean, I think it's a decent long shot, and it'll probably run good. But
hello, Dave. Thanks for joining us.
What's up, Dave? How are you? For sure it's going to be for me. Who did you go again with, David? I'm sorry.
I went with a little. I'm reaching out here for a little bit of value. The 4 Royal Charter. Maybe this horse is getting back into somewhere decent form. Has won at the distance, stretching out. can stalk the 5. I'm just looking for some value here. It's like I said, and I like the workouts. This horse, especially the May 2nd workout, 4 and 47 and change.
Yeah.
So maybe she's sitting on an improvement here. So I'm just, like I said, that's the price that I'm looking for. We've got a lot of other chalk here, so I'll reach out here for a little value.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the 2. Now I like the 5 a lot, but the 2 is a very nice horse, and you might get 3 to 1 on this horse. So I'm going to go with the 2 horse.
Okay.
I like 2-5. I like 2-5.
Okay. And for the question, I'm trying to see who asked the question. As somebody asked me, was it Jay, if I attended Woodstock? And I'm actually offended. Scott, I'm sorry, Scott. No, I'm not. I was Woodstock. How old was I? 9.
Oh, I didn't see Dan. Hi, Dan. My horses, unfortunately, they've all been injured.
I would have loved to go to Woodstock. But
yeah.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
Unfortunately, they've been injured. All right, David, I think that's it for us.
Okay.
We've never finished, so let's just go to Gulfstream Park race number 4. Just watch that.
Okay.
Let's see here, just for the heck.
Scotty, I'll let you guys do that.
I got it.
The ball because I've got a little bit of a drive. I got to get ready for an appointment. So thank you so much, everybody. Thanks for joining. Resuming the show, and good luck with your wagers this weekend. And you got a big card at the at Aqueduct this weekend, and hopefully the rain stays away. So good luck again, everybody, and pleasure being with you again. Have a great weekend.
See you later.
Thanks,
We'll talk
Scotty.
to you later. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
David Harrison, 2022 NHC champ. I'm Scotty McKeever. If you're just joining us, we put in all of our qualifying plays, and just going to do one more race. That's race number 4 here at Gulfstream Park, since we can show live racing and streaming. Thank you to Stronach for that. They've always been very generous with us from the very beginning. When a lot of other people weren't. So I always root for the Stronach group, and the people are great. In this race, I've always liked this 2 horse. It's 3 to 1 right now. It's never really been bet, to be fair. So when I saw it at 4 to 1, I'm like, maybe there's something there. And it's not the best breaker in the world. And, but this is the type of horse that will, can be in the money. So 4 to 1 right now. Carrington is going to be your favorite. But I mean, this horse beat a non-winners of 2 lifetime group last time out. And to put that in perspective, you're looking at a horse like the 2 that's got 6 wins. I don't know. Carlos David claimed the horse for 17.5, but
horses are at the gate.
Tough one.
It's outpost time. Moving in the line for race 4, 6 to 5 favorite is number 1, Carrington, from the barn of Carlos David. Edgar Zayas rides.
Take a chance with the 2 horse.
3 to 1 on Sassy Alley. Rajiv Mirage up for Robert Falcone Jr.
Maybe for first or second.
7 to 2, Don't Mess with Tess, and 4 to 1, Miyamore. Rainbow 6 pool climbing towards $50,000. Final call for your wagers. Just waiting for Mo Bay Princess and Puckered. Mo Bay Princess and Leonel Reyes to take the outside gate.
All right. Last race for us.
They're at the post.
They are doing the show tomorrow, Wiz. Yes.
And they're off. From the middle, Sassy Alley gets the first call. Carrington's going to guard that inside spot. Not in the center, Mo Bay Princess. Away 4th is Miyamore. Outside 5th, Puckered, the early trailer. Don't Mess with Tess. No pace on here as they run around the first turn. Rajiv Mirage and Sassy Alley have the lead. Moving up on the outside, Mo Bay Princess, a keen second. Also keen between horses, Miyamore. She's in a precarious spot here. Gonzalez has to slam on the brakes. Out 3 wide is Puckered, moving out the rail Carrington, and at the back is Don't Mess with Tess. Separated by 3.5 lengths, the opening quarter was pokey, 26 seconds flat. The leader, Mo Bay Princess, on the outside of Sassy Alley. They're locked up only heads apart. Then it's a trio. At the inside, Carrington from between Miyamore, 3 wide Puckered. Still at the back is Don't Mess with Tess. This is quite the chess match as they head to the half-mile grounds. Now they're at the half-mile grounds through a 50 and 2 half mile. The first to be asked for a serious effort is Sassy Alley. She's now lost ground to the leader, Mobay Princess. From third, Mia Mori. From fourth, Puckered. Carrington's in a world of hurt. She's doing no running. And Don't Mess with Tess is last. Around the far turn they go. It's Mobay Princess trying to brave it up. She goes to the top of the stretch on top by a length and a half. Sassy Alley angled off the inside and showed renewed energy while second. 4 back to Mia Mori, splitting horses from the back. Don't Mess with Tess. At the rail, it's Carrington. They're on their way home. Mobay Princess, still the target. An eighth of a mile remains for her, but she's 2.5 in front. Second is Sassy Alley. 3 back to Don't Mess with Tess. They come past the 16th pole. Mobay Princess still has the lead. Sassy Alley is game, but her bid is stalled. Mobay Princess, an 8-1 winner. Second, Sassy Alley. Third, Don't Mess with Tess. Fourth was Carrington in 142-1.
Order of finish, and 2 had to settle for third. 6 horse Mobay Princess ends up getting off at 8-1, so get a nice price on this one, who was dropping in class. You got to watch for those droppers. Like I said, what you want to do is sort the SOR, and if you sort the SOR, it's got the second top SOR next to the 5 horse, but the 5 horse was dropping in GSR. It was only 2% to win, 20-1 EE morning line. So if you get rid of that, that's the top SOR in the race, and those drops can make a big difference. So, yeah, all right, that's going to do it for me and for 2022 NHC champ David Harrison. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful weekend. Don't forget, we got the Stretch Run show tomorrow. Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.